your shit. Need a pawn in the drum roll. Turn up, yeah!
I never talk to them boys that sat on them benches. I never talk to them boys that sat on them benches. I was in the game on 4th and inches.
Represent your shit. Need a pawn in the drum roll. Turn up, yeah!
I never talk to them boys that sat on them benches. I never talk to them boys that sat on them benches. I was in the game on 4th and inches.
Now it's time to go to work. Represent your shit. Need a pawn in the drum roll. Turn up, yeah!
I never talk to them boys that sat on them benches. I never talk to them boys that sat on them benches. I was in the game on 4th and inches.
Now it's time to go to work. Represent your shit. Need a pawn in the drum roll. Turn up, yeah!
I never talk to them boys that sat on them benches. I never talk to them boys that sat on them benches. I was in the game on 4th and inches.
Now it's time to go to work. Happy Saturday to all. Before I get started, before we get cooking tonight here on Saturday Night Live, You know what it do. We are live on 863 Seminole TV. I'm your host, Polk, a.k.a. AloMoney, a.k.a. the Got Damn Truth. And I'm going to approach this game a little differently because this has become a topic, this has become a topic in Florida State. Um, is it the players or the coaches? So this review is going to be approached a little differently. Um, so we're gonna get into this, but before we get into this, we're gonna do like we always do. Shout out everybody in the chat. Hit the like button as you come on in, and let's get to it. Jen, what's up? Canes for life. Mark Jean, pay attention. Skyline Kid, Bobby, Jay Lyon, Judge Juno, Maurice Ortiz, Mac Will, the Great Walt Bell, what's up? And I know more people will continue to come on in. Ryan Mitchell, and so on and so forth. Pat, what is going on? Kusami Hayes, what's popping? So here we go. Cause see, this is the debate. Mark Jean, it's the players. Ryan Mitchell, Adam Fuller. Walt Bell says it's both. So let's take a deep dive. Kane says it, and this is a guy on the outside says it's the coaches. Let's take a look. Let's take a deep dive. Again, this different approach than what I usually do because I'm really sick of coming on here of being pissed off. So I'm not going to do it today. I just want to go each. This is what we're going to do. I got it written down here. Each position group. Not only do I have each player, each scholarship player for the most part, I left a few guys off if they're not even contributing. For the most part, I listed each scholarship player at each position and their rating coming out of high school. So let's check it out. And we're going to start on offense. Florida State love was popping. We're going to start on offense. All right. So, and we're going to start with the quarterback room. Now, our quarterback room currently consists of Jordan Travis, 3-star, James Blackman, 3-star, Tate Rodemaker, 3-star, Chubba Purdy, 4-star. Now what I'm doing here, this is how I'm going to go about this. We're going to give a talent level grade. I'm not doing a letter grade. Talent level is either going to get a check or a minus. Then the coaching of that particular position group will get a check or a minus. And we'll see, is it talent or is it the coaching? Again, Jordan Travis, 3-star, Black, 3-star, Rodemaker, 3-star, Purdy, 4-star. From a talent level off the jump, is that a talented quarterback room? Just off the jump, we got one lone 4-star in that room. We got a guy in James Blackman who was a 3-star coming out of high school, was a project that got forced into the starting position. Jordan Travis, athletic guy, but 3-star. Tate Rodemaker, another project player, similar to James Blackman, 3-star. The lone blue chip of the group is Chubba Purdy. Performance-wise, have they lived up to expectations? Well, that would fall on, I would say, Mike Norvell and Kenny Dillingham, as they are direct coaches of the quarterbacks. Is Jordan Travis outperforming his star ranking? I think so. I don't think there was no fixing of James Blackman, and I don't ever think Tate Rodemaker was ever ready to play. And Chubba Purdy, we got to see him a little bit today. Throws a pretty damn good ball, in my opinion. He's not the runner that he claimed to be when he claimed he ran that 4.4. Remember that? You can see the difference when he runs and when Jordan Travis runs, but he has an arm. If you ask me, talent level, I don't think that's a very talented group I just listed out. However, production on the field from this staff, is this not the best quarterback play? And he didn't necessarily play great today, though he looked like he was hurt. Looked like he was hurt this game. Didn't help that wide receivers decided to drop a bunch of balls, but we'll get to that position group a little later. Um, I would say, I would dare argue that the quarterback room is playing the best quarterback we've seen in the last 3 years. So talent level, I'm giving it a minus. I don't think it's a very talented group of guys. I'm giving it a check on the coaching so far. So there we go. I don't think quarterback is very talented, but I think they are being coached up around their strengths. Just from what I'm seeing from Jordan Travis. Let's go to running back. Jay Sean Corbin, 4-star. Damian Webb, JUCO, but I believe he was a 4-star coming out. Toa Philly, 4-star. Ja'Kai Douglas, 4-star. Corey Wren, 3-star. That's a talented group of running backs. I think you're seeing that on the field. I think you're seeing a very talented, well-coached group of running backs. Why do I think they're a well-coached group? Well, last year we had a couple 5-stars on a roster, and we could only really get anything out of Cam Akers. And I know you hear my son banging on the door. Hey! Cam Akers was just a physical freak. But if you ask me, the running backs were not well coached last year. Just my opinion. We can all differ. I think you're seeing a much more competent room, and the talent level obviously does not hurt what's going on in that that running back situation. They get a check and a check at the running back position. Wide receiver. Scratch that. I'm not going with wide receiver right now. We're going to do the tight end room. We'll work outside. We'll do the receivers last. Tight ends. Cameron McDonald, 4-star. Wyatt Rector, converted quarterback. Carter White, 3-star. Preston Daniels, a walk-on. And Marcus Douglas, who we haven't even seen this year, 3-star. The talent level in the tight end room is all but abysmal. However, you're getting Preston Daniels, which that call on him today I thought was bogus. Wasn't a dirty hit, wasn't a target. I don't understand. I've never seen a clean block like that get called. I thought that was a bogus call. Preston Daniels is playing great for a freshman walk-on. I think he's getting the most he can get out of this tight end room. Speaking of Chris Thompson, the tight end coach. There's not a lot of talent there to work with, folks. Cam McDonald should probably be better. We don't really have a pass threat other than Cam McDonald at the tight end position. Blocking wise, I think they've improved tremendously, including McDonald. I'm giving that a check for coaching and a minus. You'll see where I'm going here. So, be patient with me if you don't mind. Talent, not so much at tight end. I think they're pretty well coached. You can only do so much with the level. You're talking about walk-ons and converted quarterbacks at the tight end room. There's not a lot to work with there. Okay, let's go offensive line. 3-star. Darius Washington, 3-star. Ira Henry, 3-star. Chaz Neal, 3-star. Lloyd Willis, 3-star. Thomas Schrader, 3-star. Baselli, 3-star. Brady Scott, 2-star. Devontae Love Taylor, 3-star. Zane Herring, 4-star. Donta Lucas, 3-star. Murray Smith, 3-star. Robert Scott, and a 4-star. And Baby Johnson. My friends, does that offensive line sound like a talented group? No, it does not, does it? Not a lot of big-time talent on that offensive line. However, you're talking about what arguably is the strength of the offense. I would say the running backs are the best unit on the offense. Not far behind them is the offensive line. Coaching gets a check plus in coaching. Again, you're going to see where I'm going with all of this. But that's not a lot of talent to work with on the offensive line. For some reason, though, offensive line is playing pretty damn well. Okay, let's go to the wide receiver room. Tamarian Terry's got a 3-star. Ontario Wilson has a 3-star. Helton, 3-star. Warren Thompson, 4-star. Portier, 3-star. Williamson, 3-star. Jordan Young, 3-star. Brian Robinson, 4-star. I don't see a lot of talent in that wide receiver room. Tamarian Terry, obviously, if he went to a higher profile school, probably is rated higher than what he was coming out of high school. Obviously, he's a physical freak, and missing him makes an average wide receiver room bad. They were average when he was in there. That's how much he brought up that wide receiver room. That wide receiver room was terrible today. Keyshawn Helton, I'm not going to slam you so much because you had a bad game. Even the best players in the world have bad games. You're playing with the knee brace on. I don't like that. I don't think he's fit completely healthy. Ontario Wilson drops. Helton had drops. Warren Thompson's had more drops. When is a Florida State wide receiver going to win a 50-50 ball? When is a Florida State wide receiver going to make a play? It's easy to catch the wide open passes, even though I say that they dropped wide open passes today. Normally, it's easy to catch wide open passes. I'm watching receivers not knowing how to use their hands to catch balls. I'm watching receivers not knowing how to run routes, running the wrong routes. Talent-wise, they're not there. And coaching-wise, I'm sorry, Mr. Ron Dugans. You don't look like you're getting the job done. The wide receivers gets a minus there. Now let's talk about overall offense before we move to this great Florida State defense. I gave coaching for the quarterback room a plus. I gave the running backs a plus. I gave the tight ends a plus, and I gave the offensive line a plus. The lone sour spot on that offense seems to be the wide receivers. But overall for the offense, could anybody disagree with me real quick? Does that offense not look? They struggled today. They struggled from drops, self-inflict. You didn't help Jordan Travis at all. Jordan Travis didn't play great. Looked like he was playing with one arm all day. He was hanging. Dude was wincing in the first quarter, so he's obviously not healthy. But they didn't catch. Chubba Purdy threw about 4 touchdowns today, and they dropped every single one of them. So explain to me, does the offense as a whole not look better coached, more efficient? Or would any Florida State fan right now disagree that the offense hasn't made strides from what we've previously seen? I would dare say Mike Norvell and Kenny Dillingham are getting the job done on offense. We lack talent at key areas, receiver, across the board on offense. We are not that talented outside of running back, and yet they're making chicken salad out of you know what. So I want to be clear. We can give the coaching staff applause for turning this offense around. We can say, oh, Coach Atkins is great, which he is. But look at the talent Coach Atkins is working with. Yet that unit has improved drastically over the last 2 years. And they're not playing with anybody that's amazing on the offensive line. They got a bunch of freshmen, guys that aren't even physically developed yet. Got undersized guys. Guys ain't even put on college muscle yet, and yet they're playing them, and they're effective. So that says coaching is doing its damn job, even though the talent level isn't there. I would give the offense overall a plus grade. Is it perfect? No, it's not going to be perfect until you upgrade the talent. Whether that's Chubba Purdy, which I think there's some talent there in Chubba Purdy. I saw some passes today that I liked. Jordan Travis got to get healthy. I think he's still the quarterback. I know people are so quick to pull the trigger. Jordan Travis is still the quarterback if he is healthy. But continue to work Purdy in the game like you did today. And I would dare say maybe start building some red zone packages for Purdy, because we stall out in the red zone too much, and that is the one criticism I have on this offensive staff. When we get into red zone, it's like they don't know what they want to call. And I don't know if that's because they fear that Jordan Travis is too limited, that he can't make the tight window passes that you need to make in the end zone, or what it is. The red zone calls, I'm not digging them. But the offense moves, folks. They move chains. Receivers, how about you catch the damn ball? You're embarrassing right now. You see that guy? Hold on. See that guy right there behind me? Number 9? Yeah, I always talk about him. That's an FSU wide receiver you should be aspiring to be like. You're embarrassing the FSU wide receivers that are passing yourself. That was an embarrassing performance on the offense of wide receivers. I ain't even got to the defense yet. So before I get to the defense, I'm going to go to the chat real quick. Got 50 people in here, man. Hit the like button. And I'm going to read some of these comments. See, I know I'm going to have some people disagreeing with me. It's all good. We can agree to disagree today. But if you don't think that offense is a better coached offense, I don't know what to really say. Let's go. Here we go. I'm gonna start from the top. Ask QBs, Chuba, we not sure. Hold on, let me go. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Can't blame the coaches for this one. We'll see if you keep that same energy when I'm done. But you may. You may believe it's the coaching is no issue. Not according to the ratings. You're right. No talent in the QB position. Okay. Dugans may suck as a wide receiver coach, but Purdy was 100% on target and maybe got one completion. Ask QBs, Chuba, we not sure yet. It's the execution, bro, on both sides. That's the problem. I only watched the fourth quarter, but the play calling wasn't the issue today from what I saw. Greetings. Some of these young men are going on their third coaching schemes. Again, can't teach height and can't teach heart. How many of them have heart when chips are down? Purdy was making better QB decisions than Travis. Just knowing to throw it away and how to throw it away without a horrible interception is better than Travis. Travis's lone interception today. Now, he had some dropped ones. I'll give you that. Travis's lone interception today because Ontario Wilson can't catch the ball. But anyway, I agree on the QBs. What's good, Polk? My observation I noticed is that defensive players are playing extremely out of position. Defensive players aren't disciplined to stick with their assignments. Now, DC, that is a different ball of wax. So bothered by today. But that I'm late to the show. Show just started, so we ain't late. Agree on the running backs. We need a defensive coordinator. I think the DC both suck today. I don't know how you're down 31-14 and break after too many players. Do like Miami open country because UNC is over. UNC has nothing to do with this. I don't know. Guys just want to troll. Agree on the tight ends. Take some transfer portal players. Blah, blah, blah. I'm 39. I think we can walk on this team and start. Need to pay that old line coach. It's safe to say 3-star players can get it done. It looks like it. I think 3-star players seem to be getting it done on the offensive line. Seem to be getting it done in the tight end room. I don't know. Maybe those coaches are just kind of good on that offensive side of the ball. Here we go. Too many 3-stars. Oh, I named a lot of 3-stars on that offensive line, and yet playing pretty damn well. Bama and Clemson don't even look at 3-stars. That's not true. Bama just had a running back drafted. What was the running back name? He plays for the Raiders. He was a 3-star coming out. So stop it. They do look at 3-stars. It's not about 3-stars. It's about scouting the right guys. Okay. All right, here we go. So there we go. I just talked about no one's really disagreeing with me so far, huh? No one's really disagreeing. Okay, let's go to defense now. So I just listed off an entire offense. On offense, so quarterbacks, running backs, tight ends. I see a lot of 3-stars on that offense, don't I, guys? Yet the offense has improved. Okay, let's talk defense. Not going to waste our time anymore on the offense. By the way, over the last 2 games, the offense has given up over 1,000 yards. I just want to keep that in mind. Even the game we won against North Carolina, still gave over 500 yards. Over the last 2 games, over 1,000 yards. Just keep that in mind. All right, we're going to start with the defensive tackle room. Remember, just checks and minuses. Coaching's talent. Fabian Lovett, 3-star. Durden, 4-star. Marvin, 5-star. Jarrett Jackson, 3-star. Briggs was a 4-star. Robert Cooper, 4-star. True Thompson, 3-star. Malcolm Ray, 3-star. Now, your main contributors on that defensive line: Corey Durden, Marvin Wilson, Dennis Briggs, Robert Cooper, and Fabian Lovett. Talent-wise, I think that's a solid mix of talent right there. Fabian Lovett, maybe it may have been 3-star, but, I think talented guy. Durden, talented guy. Wilson, talented guy. So talent-wise, I'm going to give that a check. You're talking 3 4-stars and a 5-star in that rotation group. Yeah, I think that's a talented group. Most colleges in America would take those highly rated players. Coaching. Is the coaching a problem? I won't go as far as to say the coaching is a problem. Matter of fact, I'll even go as far to say the defensive line actually played and did their job today. If you go back and watch that game, defensive line wasn't an issue today. Defensive line penetrated fairly well today. If you go watch it, It was everybody behind them that was terrible. I'm going to give talent level a check, and I'm going to give coaching a check minus. I think Odell may be losing a step here, but I think the defensive line has played fairly well these last two games. Mainly talking about the defensive tackles. We'll go to the defensive ends here in a minute, which, believe it or not, defensive ends might be a little bit more talented. Let's go to defensive end. Curtis Fan, 4-star. McClendon, 3-star. Deontay Williams, 3-star. Griffiths, 3-star. Quayshawn Fuller was a 4-star. TJ Davis, 3-star. Kane Doe, 5-star. Janoris Robbins, 4-star. John Papuchis, whatever, he coaches them. Again, there's talent there. I'm seeing some talent there. I think I'll say this about defensive end. I think they've improved from game one up until now. Again, I saw penetration today from defensive ends and the defensive tackles. Didn't see the linebackers clean up anything. Saw linebackers, safeties all take bad angles on tackles. But whatever. I will give that a talent level check and a coaching level another check minus maybe a check. I think Papuchis is doing a fairly good job. Kando's having a bounce back year. I think for the most part. I think J-Rob actually played solid today as well. I think for the most part, that defensive end group has they've come alive over the last couple games. They're playing better than they started the season off. So I got check there. I got check there on the defensive line. So the defensive line seems to be solidly coached. Not that they can't be coached better, but I think they've been solidly coached, and the talent level is obviously there. You're talking about across the entire defensive line, 2 5-stars and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 4-stars on that entire defensive line. Yeah, I think that's enough talent to get the job done. Okay, linebacker room. Let's talk linebackers. Emmett Rice was a 3-star. Kavion Glenn was a 3-star. Jaleel McGray was a 4-star. Kalen DeLoach was a 4-star. DeKellen Brooks was a 3-star. Steven Dix was a 4-star. Gaynor was a 4-star. Leonard Warner was a 4-star. McCluster was a 3-star. And DJ Lundy was a 3-star. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 4-stars in this linebacking room. Looks kind of talented to me. Sounds like another talented group. The one caveat I'll have with this group is they're playing a lot of young guys. I don't even think I haven't seen Jaleel McCray over like DJ Lundy. We don't see much of Kavion Glenn. We don't see any of Jalen McCluster. I still think they're playing Gaynor at a position. I don't know. I thought Marv was supposed to be a really good linebacker coach, and maybe just the guys that he wants to play are just too young and not ready, and maybe that's the case. I'm gonna give it a check on the talent level. I'm giving it a question mark at coaching. I'm not ready to write the book off on Marv quite yet, and I have seen good things from Steven Dix. Again, when you're playing some of these young guys, man, you got to take the ups with the downs. As many good plays as a Steven Dix is going to make, he's going to make some plays not so good because he's a true freshman out here learning on the fly. So that I can accept. Emmett Rice, I actually thought Emmett Rice played a solid overall game today. I don't know what's going on with the Jaleel McCrays of the world and some of these other guys that we can't even get them in a rotation. But question mark on the coaching. But I'm going to say, again, another talented group. DB room, 4-star. Gant, Woody, 4-star. Dent, 4/5, whatever service you want to go there. Samuels, 4-star. Green McKnight, 4-star. Travis J, 4-star. Carlos Becker, 4-star. Jerry Jones was a 4-star. Woodbay is a 5-star. Nazaldine, a 4-star. I'm not even going to read the rest of these damn names because this is the one group on this entire team that I can't make an excuse for. And Woodson is supposed to be this great DB coach, and I'm not seeing it. I ain't seeing it, folks. Our safety play is abysmal. We have one good cornerback on this entire roster. Now, you want to sit here and you want to tell me that that FSU whiffed on all these 4 and 5-star talent on defense, that every recruiting service in goddamn it America said all these 4 and 5 stars and that FSU just scouted bad and that all these 4 and 5 stars are trash? Give me a break. Give me a break, because I'm watching on offense them make 3 stars look like competent football players. Guys that aren't even physically ready to be playing football are playing over there on that offensive side of the ball, on that offensive line, and at that tight end position. A walk-on tight end is making a more of an impact than any of these 4 stars is on defense. Don't tell me. Now I'm about to start getting into the rant because now I'm starting to get pissed. Don't tell me that coaching ain't a problem. Don't tell me that every single 4 and 5 star I just named on here sucks. That's garbage. That's trash, and that's not a good take. Come on. How about Fuller? Let me ask let me ask a question, because the overall grade of that defense, I just listed off every position group on the defense, and everybody will agree with all that talent. There's talent, a ton of talent on defense. Yet they continuously play out of position. What was the identity of the defense today? Did we not know that a guy like Tutu Atwell plays for the Louisville Cardinals? Did we not cover? We didn't. How does a Tutu Atwell run free on your defense with no safety over the top, nothing? How do you match a safety on a player like Tutu Atwell? When is that ever a good coaching decision to match a safety? I don't care who the safety is, unless you got, damn it, maybe Ed Reed back there, and even then, that's not any safety's strength is one-on-one coverage. Adam Fuller thought it was a good idea to put Raymond Woody on Tutu Atwell. Adam Fuller thought it was a good idea to not even follow Atwell around. Adam Fuller thought it was a good idea on a 2nd and 24 to do on a 2nd down and 24 to do a single high sellout blitz and didn't cover Atwell, and they went for 60 yards on the next play, a touchdown. Now you're gonna tell me that's players' fault. Am I saying the players are perfect? Hell no. Are some of those guys that I listed overrated? Sure they are. But they're not being put in the right positions either. Those are bad coaching decisions against a guy like Tutu Atwell, who everybody knows is running like a 4-2. And you don't game plan around him on offense? You don't think for a second that we might want to try to find him on every play? And I'm not saying stop him, but identify where he's at and do our damnedest to double team him, limit him, contain him. No, they didn't do it. They just said, okay, well, Tutu Atwell go out there and run free in the defense. That's not a player thing. The players don't get to decide if they're playing zone or man. The players aren't the ones deciding, well, I'm going to blitz this play, I'm going to go back in coverage. The players aren't deciding that, folks. The coaching is. The coaching is designing those defensive schemes, calling those defensive plays in critical situations, looking stupid. But I know it's the players. They suck. FSU trash. They just all of them were overrated. None of them were ever any good. They suck. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'm gonna go back to the comments since I ran it for a little bit. Wide receivers look like they're. That's the one problem I said on the offense. I am not a fan of what they do in the red zone. And I'd be interested to know what are they seeing there? Is Jordan Travis that limited that you don't have confidence to make passes in the red zone? I don't know. Not a fan of the red zone plays myself. Boom, 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 bum, 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 bum. Let's see. Caden Garcia says, can you explain what our defensive game? Oh, thank you, Caden. I'm glad you popped in. I was just addressing this. What was our defensive game plan today? Because nobody seemed to understand it, but they're going to tell me that the players just suck. But yeah, please, somebody answer Mr. Caden Garcia's question, because I can't answer it. Somebody who wants to say the players are bad, tell me what was Adam Fuller's plan today? What was his plan? Please, somebody in the comments. Somebody answer that question. This fool say Willie T would never when Taggart just lost today. Boy, you don't get out of here. Brother Brooklyn. All that raw talent that D has gets negated by mental lapses that can't be taught away. If you're not smart, you're just not smart. Where's the dumb play though? Again, the safety, or I take that back. The linebacker doesn't get to say, well, I'm gonna blitz today or I'm gonna play coverage. No, he's being told what he's gonna play for that down. So I didn't see any mental lapses. I just saw a team running free on offense. I didn't see where a player made a bad, like, okay, so like DJ Lundy in the last game against North Carolina made a bad play. We got bailed out because the receiver or running back, whoever that was, dropped the ball. But on the last play of the North Carolina game, that was a mental lapse. FSU was pursuing Sam Howell. They were going to tackle Sam Howell. Lundy came off his guy, left a guy wide open. That's a mental lapse that I can agree. Like, you don't make that decision. You have to be smarter in that situation. That's also a true freshman who has to start learning and understanding the game a little more. But I can agree there. Well, where was that play today? That play wasn't there today. The D-line didn't allow Hawkins to have a career day. The linebackers and the safeties did. Who tackled him on the second level? Nobody. Go watch the play where the man scores on the little where he cuts back and runs around. That's not on the defensive line. The defensive line penetrated to where it should have been a loss. Akeem Dent and the safety on that play completely whiff on the tackle on the backside and lose contain. It's not on the defensive line. Again, here we are blaming that line. The defensive line did their job and penetrated and stopped the play from where it was supposed to go. Louisville player just made a better play than our DBs. Again, the DBs, man. The DBs aren't any good. Syracuse was hanging in there with Clemson. Yeah, I saw that. DNs are too slow. Fuller's days are numbered. Defensive ends let Hawkins have a field day on the outside. Again, J-Line, that ain't on the defensive ends, but, I mean, we can continue to talk about linebackers making wrong angles. You know, those type of things also happen. How many missed tackles we had today? We had a ton of those. I didn't watch the first half. I'm going on what I saw, and most of the FSU, they damn sure were. It seems like the defensive staff is still hungover from NC State. They didn't prepare. I don't know if they didn't prepare or he just – I don't know how you go into the game and Tutu Atwell isn't a focus, right? That's like going up against, hell, any electric player. That would have been like a team going up against a Florida State and saying, well, we're just gonna not stack the box and let Dalvin Cook run all over the place. Now, granted, Dalvin Cook, I mean, was gonna do his thing anyway. He's Dalvin damn Cook. The point is, Tutu Atwell ain't Dalvin Cook. Tutu Atwell is a receiver, and at what point do we ever see a double coverage on him? Do we ever see them trying to press? Like, I know you don't really press a guy like that because he's gonna run right past you. But what adjustments did they ever make to him? It didn't even seem like they knew where he was lined up half the time. And by the way, if you don't want to take my word for the defense, go listen to Mike Norvell in his post-game interview, where he did not sound very happy with the defensive play calling and some of the players being in certain positions. Just go watch the interview. If you won't want to take my word for it, and you think I'm just an angry fan on here, which I am angry and I am a fan, but you think I'm just blindly hating on Mr. Adam Fuller. Adam Fuller hasn't had one good game this season. The defense played one good half the entire season. One good half of football. Just somebody answer the question. What is the defense's mentality? What is not mentality, identity? Use the wrong word there. What is our defense's identity? You know, like some defenses are bend and break, some are attack, swarm to the ball. You know, what is our identity? All the guys I just named, again, overrated and bust. That would make FSU have the highest bust rate in like the history of college football. Really? So everybody I named is just a bust. Just can't be taught They just can't be taught, is what you're telling me. I saw a 4-win Florida team who everybody thought had a bunch of trash players get a coaching staff that took them to a 10-win team in 1 year. And Florida wasn't even recruiting on that good of a level when Dan Mullen took over. And you're going to tell me coaching doesn't matter, folks? But forget Florida. Florida State has a bunch of lackluster talent at offensive line, but you're going to tell me coaching doesn't matter? Oh, but the offensive line players are more coachable than the defensive players. The offensive line players are smarter than our DBs and linebackers and all those guys, is what you. So offensive line players are smart. The rest of the players on defense are just dumb. They're coachable. These guys aren't coachable. Somebody make it make sense. There you go. Encyclopedia watched it too. Go watch the interview. You can go watch it on warchant.com or their YouTube channel. Florida State's YouTube channel, which has its like own separate War Chant. They usually do the interviews. Go watch it. Norvell pretty much was like, Fuller wasn't doing his job today. But again, don't take my word for it. Everybody says Norvell's the answer. I actually just gave Norvell a check. I think what he's doing offensively is a good thing. I think offensive is making strides. And I think in the future, with more talented players at that quarterback position, I think this offense will be a lot better under Mike Norvell. So take his word for it. Take Norvell's word for it. Don't just take mine, because I'm a nobody. Our defensive identity is suck. Yeah, seems to be. Mike needs to realize they made a bad. Yeah, they did. They made a bad hire. Nothing in Fuller's resume. Go check his resume. Has ever said he should be a D1. Fuller looks like he's a pretty old guy. And he looks like he's been coaching football for a long time. And his resume says he's been at a few places. Not one of those places were ever Power 5 football. The dude's never, and Fuller's got to be at least 50-something years old, and he's never once coached at the Power 5 level. What does that tell you? But y'all are going to tell me that Adam Fuller is still the answer and that the players just suck. All right. Your identity is whatever. Stop it. Your identity is whatever you want to do, you can do it. It's nothing to do with coach. These players are just overrated. Yeah, every player I name is overrated. Cool, Cliff. That makes a lot of sense. Everybody's overrated. I named 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 4-star and above players, and you're telling me all of those guys are overrated. 21. Cool, Cliff. You make a lot of sense, too. No, they don't want to hear the truth, man. People don't, for whatever reason, they want to blind love Adam Fuller, and I don't get it. The truth is what the truth. I'm not saying every player is great. I'm not saying every player that I named isn't overrated. Sure, there's some overrated guys on this list. But 21, 22, 4, and 5 stars, all of them ain't overrated, folks. They're being poorly coached and put in bad positions. Look at the defense. You can point to players taking bad angles. Got it. Look at the defensive play calls and key situations in this game and tell me what the hell they were doing. Samuel, what's going on, man? The defense has been bad years after. When will we hold the player accountable? We can hold players accountable. I held Akeem Dent accountable. Bro, there's a difference between holding players accountable. Look, man, I lie sometimes. Other men lie. Women lie. The damn numbers don't lie, homie. The numbers don't lie. Not only was he giving up 40-plus points a game at Memphis and all his other stops before now, I just named 22 freaking. Name another team in the ACC that has 22 4 or 5 stars on the defense. That's not named Clemson and maybe Miami. Name another one. Name another team in the ACC that has 22 4 or 5 stars. I'll wait. I'm still waiting. You can't do it. But all these guys I just named are overrated. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Yep. Remember how bad Anderson Dickerson looked for us? Well, first of all, he could never stay healthy at Florida State either. He goes to Alabama and he's definitely looking like an NFL prospect, isn't he? I'm sure is. How on players though can our players be so much worse than Louisville's? We recruit better. I just named all the recruits, Jen. But no, they're going to tell me the players got to be held accountable, and they do have to be held accountable. Akeem Dent has been overrated. I'll give you that one. Let's see, Akeem Dent. I'm not been a fan of. Man, I can't really name another guy. I think I'm not going to knock a Steven Dix because the dude's young. He's going to make mistakes. That's another thing, FSU fans. Y'all cried for the youth movement. Well, they're playing a ton of young players, so the mistakes are going to happen. So stop crying about the mistakes and that these kids are bad when we're playing a bunch of true freshmen out there. That stuff's going to happen, bro. We got to stop doing that too. So I don't come out here and bash Steven Dix or DJ Lundy, who they're playing hard. I believe they're playing hard and fast. I just think they take bad angles. They make the wrong decisions. Got it. That don't mean they're overrated. They're just young and learning. I haven't been a fan of Akeem Dent. I'm trying to think of some other guys. Jerry Jones, Woodbay, those guys haven't done it for most. Honestly, if you want to call most of the talent that's overrated, is in the secondary, if you ask me. I'll give you that. Most of the talent that I think may be overrated seems to come from that secondary. But that's another thing, Lorenzo. That's on coaching. I still think they're not playing Gaynor in the right way. I still think we're using Woodbay in the wrong way. So I agree with you there. Whose job is it to put the players in position? Players don't tell themselves what positions to play or where to line up. This ain't Memphis. We Florida State. Fuller must go championship or bust. Fuller's the worst DC. Doesn't it look like that? I mean, Charles Kelly and Harlan Barnett look better than what Adam Fuller's giving us right now. Again, 1,000 yards in 2 games. So what defensive coach you think going to leave their school to come here? Bro, that's like asking me and if you pay the money, you can get a guy. Like, I don't know. That's why Mike Norvell gets paid $1 million and some odd dollars, or $3, $4, $5 million to convince a defensive coach to come here. So you don't think a defensive coach should come here, so we just got to stick it out with Fuller and be bad? What kind of shit is that? Who thinks like that? That's ridiculous. Any defensive coordinator will want to come to Florida State and coach some of this talent. Miss me with that. I'm starting to see it's not even about overrated players. It's about coaches overcoaching. You can't have all that talent and not let them just fly around. Thank you, Brother Brooklyn. There is a such thing as overcoaching, overthinking. Let some of these guys play in space and make plays. Something. What are you scared of at this point? Adam Fuller, you're not getting the job done. This FSU team is on a pace to be one of the worst defensive teams, probably not even just in FSU history, but, ACC college football, like 1,000 yards in 2 games. We're talking about right now FSU's playing Big 12 level of defense right now. How many bad defensive games will it take before they finally realize that Fuller needs to go? At least, the only thing I'll say in defense of Fuller is they're probably not. They're not going to fire him right now. They're not going to fire him right now if they fire him. But Norvell didn't seem very happy with that defensive performance today, and he didn't blame the players. I'll just put it like that. Mike Norvell didn't blame the players. So again, you can come at me and tell me I'm wrong that it's the players, but the head coach didn't see it that way. If Fuller drops one more game outside of Clemson, then we need to look the way he looked today. He needs to be fired. No more excuses. The schemes suck. LOL, let's do it. We elect old ass presidents. I still don't think we're in position to be firing coaches. Not in a position to be firing a head coach, no, but I don't see why you can't make personnel decisions on your position coaches. I don't understand why you can't do that. Enos coached one, and I'm gonna bring other schools. I brought up Florida, and I'm gonna bring up other schools as an example because I've seen other schools do it and have success. Enos coached 1 year at Miami, didn't get done, and they cut him. Why the hell can't Florida State do that? Why can't Florida State do that? I don't know who they're gonna go out there and get. So don't ask me who we should go get because I don't know. I don't know. That's about Mike Norvell contacting, maybe creating a relationship with a guy. Maybe he has a pre-existing relationship with a guy. Now that's on Mike Norvell to figure that out. He should have an idea of some of these guys he wants. But Fuller ain't the answer, folks. He was never the answer. He's shown nothing that he's shown that he can't be the answer. Fuller coached at Wagner, UPI, Assumption, Richmond, Marshall, Memphis. FSU, preach. Rose, preach it. But see, when I say these things, I'm just an angry fan. What kind of resume is that said, oh, he deserves to be the defensive coordinator at Florida State freaking University? You can't call up Charlie Strong. I think Charlie Strong ain't even coaching right now. You can't call up a Charlie Strong and say, hey, let me holler at you. I mean, that's just a name right off the bat I can think of from a defensive standpoint. But you watch these players, they look like See, me and Cliff, bro, we're just not going to agree on this. We're not going to agree on this. If they look like 4 and 5 stars, we'd play better. Let me ask you a question. Does the offensive line players, do they look like 3 and 2 stars? Does that walk-on freshman Preston Daniels, does he look like a walk-on? No, he looks like he probably should have been at least a 3-star coming out of high school. Does Robert Scott look like a 3-star playing over there on offense? The offensive line don't look like it's built with a bunch of 3 stars. So we can admit that Coach Atkins is a great coach and that he's gotten the most out of the offensive line, right? We can admit that Coach Atkins isn't working with a lot of talent on the O-line, yet he's getting guys to play above what they were assumed, or above what they were scouted, right? He's getting the most out of these guys. But we can't agree that Adam Fuller isn't getting the most out of his guys, but they're just all overrated. But all the offensive linemen are all underrated. Please make it make sense. All those offensive linemen were just underrated, and they were actually really good 4-star type level players. Everybody in the damn world just didn't see it. But all the 4-star and 5 stars we have on defense were really just bad players, and nobody saw that either. Even Norvell showed that he wasn't happy with the defensive play calling. That's all I'm saying, Samuel. Norvell's first choice was the UGA defensive coordinator, but he declined, so he grabbed Fuller. He has a friendship with that guy, and I mean, can you blame the man for not wanting to leave Georgia? He might try to get him again at the end of this year. I would, because at the end of the day, that's Kirby Smart's defense over there at Georgia. Maybe you come to Florida State and make a name as the actual defensive mastermind. Because no matter what that defense does over there at Georgia, Kirby Smart's always going to be seen as the mastermind behind it. Plenty would leave to. Thank you. There's plenty of defensive coordinators, and I'm not just talking about the group of 5 schools, but defensive D1 guys that'd be like, shit, I'll go coach in Tallahassee. I'll go coach them Florida kids. Charlie Strong will come. I would love for them to give it a shot. It can't hurt to give them a call and try it. That's all I'm saying. I don't think Pruitt would ever come back. There was a lot of things going on with him when he left. But man, if you in here, hit the like button. Again, I just want to take a different approach to this one because I'm sick of the conversation of the players just suck. We got some bad players. I'm not just gonna sit here and pretend like we don't. But man, miss me with the players just suck. It's 3rd and 17, and Fuller being man coverage. Shit, man, whatever happened to forcing a quick pass to make the damn tackle? Rumor is he was cheating on his wife. Right. So yeah, that's what I was just referring to. I don't ever see Pruitt really coming back here. Fuller offseason gonna get fired. Calling it. Tennessee fired the D line coach. Clemson might score 1,000 on us. You're looking at giving 45 points a game average with this D. Look at that. Look at the game. Yeah, look at the games. Hell, even the game we won. We gave up, 21, which one was a pick six, so we'll take off 7 there. But we gave a 28 to North Carolina in the game in the lone meaningful game that we won. Every other game we gave up 52 to Miami. Well, Notre Dame scored over 40, and now this team done scored. They almost put 50 on us in Louisville. Louisville almost put 50 on us, folks. Guarantee you, if not by the end of the season, by the start of the next season, Fuller is definitely in over his head. Oh, yes, Charlie Strong right now. Robert Scott he's looking like a 5-star, but he was a 3-star. So either Robert Scott was really a 5-star or Coach Atkins is coaching the hell out of him. I don't know, Sniper. Let me know. Because Robert Scott I agree. Robert Scott's looking damn good. You know who else is looking good? Maurice Smith is looking damn good. Another 3-star. And Maurice Smith is undersized and only at like 280. Who else is looking fairly good? I mean, Devontae Love Taylor. Now we know he was a grad transfer, but the kid was only a 2-star prospect coming out of high school. Looking pretty damn good. So again, we can give Coach Atkins credit because we all agreed that the offensive line wasn't that talented. I mean, it's the same offensive line pretty much we saw last year with Clements, and he couldn't get nothing out of him. And the year before that with Greg Fry, and he couldn't get nothing out of him. And Clint Trickett couldn't get nothing out of him. Then all of a sudden, Atkins is getting the most out of him. So it's not the players there, it's the coaching. I don't know. It's one thing to lose by 2 scores, but come on, man, 52-10. Yeah, look at it. Thank you, Panambon. Look at these scores, and you're telling me it's just the players are bad. I don't know, man. I don't know. My beef. Hold on. It skipped on me. My beef with the offense is how come we can't score points in the second half? Well, drops will do that for you. We can start getting on that wide receiver core, man. Somebody's got to step up. Somebody has to step up. But drops will do that for you. Penalties will do that for you. Remember, last week we should have scored a few times in the second half. Missed field goals, penalties. There's still a lot of growing to do on the offense. I think everybody can agree the offense is growing, but there's still a ton more of growth to be had. But I listed 22 4 and 5 stars on the defense. There's not one 5-star on the offense, and there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's only 10 4-stars on the offense, and 4 out of the 10. So and 40% of those 4-stars are all in the running back room. But yet the offense has been. We came into this season thinking that the offense was going to be weak and that the defense was going to be a focal point, a strength of this team. There's not one Florida State fan that didn't believe that. We thought the defense would be the strength and the offense would need to play catch up. And it's been the exact opposite. But again, you're telling me that's not coaching. It's just all the offensive players are better than what they were recruited as, and all the defensive players suck are worse than what they were recruited as. How good is Jordan Travis? Is he still better than King? It has nothing to do with Jordan Travis today, but continue. Name to watch is a Marcus Freeman from Cincinnati, looking to get a premier institution, top 25 last 2 years defensively. Okay. Let's just keep in mind Denton Woodbay were 5 stars. Yeah, like I said, the defense has 22 4 and 5 stars on it. I said Hold on, my bad. I said we wouldn't win 7 or 8 this year last week. I said we'd be happy. Yeah, that's what it's looking like. I believe Charlie Strong's defense analysis for Bama. Okay, I didn't know that. I didn't even think he was coaching at this point. Apples to oranges, defense to offense. Cliff, you got an answer for everything. I know it's apples to oranges in terms of what they're doing, but it's not apples to oranges that one guy can coach his position group better and the other guy can't. Like what? Why are you so intent on defending Adam Fuller? What have you ever seen from Adam Fuller that makes you say he's the guy for the job? Because Cliff, you seem to really love some Adam Fuller. You really seem to really like Adam Fuller. You know what? I respect everybody's opinion, but hot damn it, what is it you see from Adam Fuller that you are so dug in the ground that Adam Fuller is not the problem? You're telling me it's apples to oranges. So you're telling me that the offensive talent level, which is vastly under our offensive talent, is nowhere near our defensive talent, but the offense is better. You're telling me that's not coaching. Just guys. I mean, I don't know. Cliff, you got to explain it. You got to explain it to me. Polk, you have every right to get mad. Fuller is just not talented defensive coordinator. I mean, again, Cliff, go call up Mike Norvell and talk to him too. Because again, I'm criticizing him, but Norvell publicly criticized him in an interview. That's all I'm gonna say. How do you think the O-line improved so much in such a coaching? Baggy, that's my whole point of this entire thing is coaching. There's no magic sprinkle dust that Coach Atkins has that Adam Fuller doesn't have. This ain't Space Jams. There's no magic water. There's none of that. Coach Atkins is a hell of a football coach. Adam Fuller is not. Tell him again, Concrete. Hit the damn like button. Jonathan Cook says, offensive line been bad for a long time. Jameis got sacked 33 times in the championship season. But the narrative will be because he had the ball too long. Yeah, because Trickett wasn't that great of an offensive line coach either, Jonathan. Good point. Again, you see the fruits of the labor on the offensive line. Hell, you see it in the quarterback room. We don't have no real talent in that quarterback room. Jordan Travis right now is playing outside of his mind. Let's be real. I hope he can get better, and I do think he will get better. But he's playing injured. The one good note from this game is that there was a bye week next week, so people can heal up. He was glaringly injured to me in this game. Jordan Travis did not look healthy. Did not look like he wanted to take any hits today. Purdy is the lone guy in that quarterback room where you can go, okay, there's some talent there. Maybe Tate Rodemaker develops. I do believe in development. But right now, there's just not a lot of raw talent. Every team has some over and underrated players. It's still up to coaches to get the most out of them. There you go. There you go. Every team's going to have bust, and every team's going to have guys that super exceed expectations. But you can't tell me everyone on offense is super exceeding expectations and everyone on defense is a bust. That's not logical thinking, man. Keyshawn Helton probably had his worst game of his life. Yeah, I said that. Helton did not play good today. I'm not going to get on Helton too much. Even the best players have bad games. I mean, I've seen Tom Brady throw multiple pick sixes in a game. Not comparing him to Tom. Just saying. Good players have bad games. He chose a hell of a day to have a bad game. And I'm still not a fan of having a guy like Keyshawn Helton running around with that big old knee brace on. He needs to get that knee brace taken off. If he's not ready to, I got it. But I think Keyshawn would be better once that knee brace comes off. Even though our recruiting classes lately have been nothing to brag about, why don't we have any big-time receivers outside of Terry? We haven't signed any. I don't want to make this a Willie Taggart thing, but the facts are Willie Taggart, when he first took over for Florida State and he salvaged that first recruiting class, he signed Trayshawn Harrison and Warren Thompson. Those were like the two big 4-star receivers. Well, Trayshawn Harrison ain't on the team, and Warren Thompson ain't never lived up to expectations. His second full recruiting class, Willie Taggart did not sign one offensive skill position player. And he did sign Jordan Young with Warren Thompson and Trayshawn Harrison. So I forgot about Jordan Young. So that first class, he signed 3 or 4 receivers. I'm forgetting another one, and I can't remember his name, but I think that guy ended up transferring too. Forget his name. We've had 2 transfers from the group, and Jordan Young and Warren Thompson don't really look like the goods right now. His second year, didn't sign 1 wide receiver, didn't sign 1 running back for that matter. No skill position players. Last year, who did we sign? We signed Brian Robinson, who we haven't seen. We signed a bunch of 3 stars outside of Brian Robinson. We just don't have the talent in the wide receiver room. We just don't got it. This is what I like. The players know it's Fuller's fault this whole season. Oh, this is what I think. The players know it's Fuller's fault. Charlie Strong. Won't try by agree, but he's still a reliable player. Just had a bad game. Yeah. If we're going to talk about Keyshawn, he's still reliable, man. How many times we've seen Keyshawn make great contested catches? I mean, he's the one wide receiver I think you can somewhat count on. He just had a bad game, and players have bad games, so I'm not going to get on him too far. This defense sandbagging the coaches because of what happened at the beginning of the season. Explain that to me, Derek. What you mean? Are you talking about the Marvin Wilson situation, which, again, that don't make any damn sense. Why would the defense be sandbagging on purpose I don't know. Explain that. It wasn't caught in stride, but it was the right in hands. Terry has not showed up. Terry hasn't played this year. Terry didn't show up. Let's put some context to Tamarion Terry. I got to do this too. I got to defend Terry. First game of the season, finds out his grandmother passes away before the game. Looked obviously out of it mentally. Dropped a big pass, no doubt. Then he plays Miami. Had a breakdown on the sideline where he's crying, and him and Coach Dugans got into it. I believe he was still dealing with the effects of that game, of that passing in his life. Jacksonville State, he comes out of his shell, has a pretty decent game. Notre Dame couldn't really stop him. We just couldn't stop their offense. And he didn't play last week, and he didn't play this week because of a knee injury. Come to find out, he was also, probably playing with this knee injury from the beginning of the season. So it's like, come on. Terry makes the wide receiving room better. It's obvious that when he's in the group, they're at least an average group. Without Terry, there is no playmaker on that offense, in that wide receiver room. The difference between the O-line and the D-line is culture. That D-line is Jimbo Fisher recruits. They have been through all that BS. The O-line is new players with a different culture. Score was 38-16 when I dozed off. Woke up in Louisville about now. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Coach Atkins is the least talked about coach on the staff. That's really make a difference with players he has coached. Clemson is going to put 80 on FSU. Yep, Louisville got a lot of them 3-star. Louisville got, their star running back. The guy that killed us today? He was a 2-star recruit at a Daytona Beach. I don't know. He looks pretty good, though. Looked pretty good. I wonder what's really wrong with Robinson. Is he still? Yeah, Brian Robinson. I don't know. I saw him in there some today, but they didn't really target him. Not defending him. Hold on. I lost you there, Cliff. I'm coming to you. Not defending them, but the 3 different coaches in 4 years. There's no savior coming. These players brag about how they love this defense in the offseason. Now they will cry. Now I don't care what the players say. The players are going to have a coach's back. The coaches are going to usually have players' back. As a team, you're going to have that mentality. No one's going to come out and say, "Oh, Adam Fuller sucks." Not on the team, they're not. The fans can look at it and see what it is. That's all I can say about that. We're going to cry about the coach because it is the coach. Harlan Barnett wasn't even allowed to coach his defense. Harlan Barnett gets a bad rap, and I'll take back what I said earlier about Harlan Barnett. Harlan Barnett gets a bad rap. And I dare say when Taggart got fired and Harlan Barnett was allowed to coach, that defense looked better at the end of the last year than it did under Willie Taggart, forcing Harlan Barnett to coach a scheme he did not even know how to coach. I would take Harlan Barnett right now over Adam Fuller. It ain't the coaching change. I mean, you can talk about it all you want. Again, how many offensive coordinators has Miami had to go with that offense, and finally they got it right with Lashley, or seems to have got it right? Or how many coaches did Florida go in, and then Dan Mullen comes in, and they've been pretty damn good team ever since. They're going to have to use this bye week, man, just to nothing more, just to get healthy. Because honestly, I don't think the defense is fixable. I'm not buying into a half of football anymore. I don't think the defense is fixable. I just don't see it. We do need Ham back. That's for sure. We definitely need Hamsa back. If Clemson put 80 on us, Mike Norvell will have no other choice but to fire Fuller. They got to worry about Pitt first and NC State before we even worry about Clemson. Y'all worried about the wrong stuff. Can we stop Pitt and NC State? Because those are the next 2 games on the schedule. DeMarcus Adams, there you go. That's what I was talking about. He transferred out. Fuller is Norvell's form, so Fuller is Norvell from. So I don't know what they're trying to say there. Ardavius says, I wish we would have moved Robinson inside and maybe put Marv on the edge. I don't know, but Fuller needs to do something. I don't know if Fuller's capable of doing anything. What adjustments has the man ever made? The only adjustments he's made since being the defensive coordinator was moving Leonard Warner to the bench, putting Steven Dix in the starting lineup. It's really the only decision he's made. Defense looks worse than last year. Maybe they're not sandbagging, but something up. Maybe this scheme ain't for us. Now we really know the coach can be fired during the game. Pruitt did it. With that being said, if Clemson put up 80, he need to take his headset off. Charlie Strong will have these boys right as a DC, but not. I'm not asking for Charlie. Yeah, I'm not asking for Charlie Strong as the head coach. I think offensively, man, I think we have. Again, I'm not calling for Mike Norvell's job. I think Mike Norvell seems, in my opinion, I'm pleased with what I'm seeing from Mike Norvell. We still need to clean up penalties, man. We had 11 penalties today for over 100 yards. We still need to clean up penalties. Penalties you can always, to me, now penalties you can blame on the players. That's where you want to go with that. I'm all 100% in with you on that. Bonehead penalties, we can blame on the players all day. Man, barely. I barely see the kid. Terry actually had surgery on his knee this week. Won't be back. Yeah, I know. Terry's been dealing with that and a ton of other things. Harlan Barnett is a division defensive coordinator. Me too, Polk. I'll take Bennett or Jim Lovett at this rate. We need a defensive coordinator that will change these players' mentality and physically. I doubt that Fuller is doing that. Michigan State took Harlan Barnett right back after he was let go. Shit, Polk. I'll take my little league coach over Fuller right now. Fuller may be an okay position coach. Maybe. I can't even say that, Samuel. Again, FSU Rose, where you at? Let me go find this comment. Again, look at the man's resume. I don't want to scroll up back too far, so if I can't find it. There it is, right here. Look at this. You tell me he's a D1 coach. You tell me he's a D1 coach. We need to figure out a way to keep this 2021 class together. I think last week gave you some breathing room in the recruiting, Irv. I don't want to panic too much when you start talking about recruiting. Don't want to panic too much. I think you did see this team come out, beat a 5-rated team, and to North Carolina's credit, they came out this week and put it on NC State. So, I don't want to panic too much on the recruiting trail. I think if a guy like Brandon Jennings was going to leave, he was going to leave. I'm more so worried about things beyond this class. But from everything I'm hearing, guys are still solid. I think a lot of these guys understand that they can make the difference. But according to some people, they probably going to be overrated and not play any good. I don't know. No pride. These players don't give a F. Irv Gotti, I agree with you 100%. If you are a head coach, what would you sell to the recruiting class, be the difference. If I'm Mark Norvell, I'm telling them, be the difference. You can be the guy that puts us back where we want to be. You could be the class, the player, that superstar. You can be Greg Reed. Remember when Greg Reed and guys like LaMarcus Joyner, when they committed to Florida State, we weren't as bad as this, but we weren't great. A lot of those guys that ended up on that national championship team, when they were recruited to Florida State, FSU wasn't doing great things. They were a solid team winning like 8-9 games a year. But that initial group, that Greg Reeds of the world, those guys were the catalyst for LaMarcus Joyner to come on over and some of these other guys. You got to convince guys to be that guy. That, yeah, we're not that team now, but look, FSU still puts players in the league. Oh, and by the way, you can come here and continue the tradition. You can be the difference. You can be the spark. I guess that's how I would sell them. But if the player's looking and thinking, well, I don't really fit what you guys are doing, whether that's offensively or defensively, a kid's not going to want to play in a system that doesn't fit what he believes he can do or contribute to. Pitt, NC State, no slouch. If we aren't ready for that, after today's game, man, we not favored in any game. Let's be clear. We're not favored in any game at the rest of the season. And I'll be honest with you, that includes Duke. Duke could get us because we can't stop a nosebleed. Duke can get us. For all of our sake, if Fuller gets fired this week, it would be a blessing. Put anyone at DC for the rest of the year. Fuller's scheme is making Odell and all the other defensive coaches look bad. That's another thing. But who's going to have that conversation? Who's going to have it? Hit that like button, man. As you know, we on 863 Seminole TV and you on Saturday Night Live. And, I don't want to come in here and just say everything's Fuller's fault. I agree there are some bad players. But I've seen competent coaching mask deficiencies. You know what I mean? Again, I'm just going with the numbers, man. I'm not necessarily all a numbers guy because I believe what my eyes see as well. But there's no way you can tell me 22 4 and 5 stars on defense and they're all overrated. You just can't explain that to me. And on the other side of the ball, what did I say we had? 8 4, no 5 stars. 8 4-star or 10 4-stars on offense. 4 of those are all in the running back room. But the offense is playing better than it's played the last 3 years. I'm looking at some good offensive coaches, and I don't know if it's a collection of bad defensive coaches or just a bad defensive coach. Because I'm watching an offensive coordinator and a head coach put the offense, first of all, they're scheming around Jordan Travis's strengths, and they're putting the offense in a position to be successful. What is the scheme on defense? Offense, we have an identity, do we not? We know what we are offensively. There's an identity there. We need some guys to play up. Mainly the wide receivers need to step their game up. But we went through a list of the entire offense and said, man, we're really lacking talent at a lot of the position groups on offense. O-line, wide receiver, tight end, quarterback. Not a lot of talent in any of those rooms. Yet they're overperforming, playing pretty good football. You can see the talent gap in a game like today where we didn't have any wide receiver that could make a play, that could catch a ball, that could win a 50-50 ball. There you see the talent gap. And even with that talent gap, FSU has still been able to put up 31 odd some points against North Carolina, 41 points against Jacksonville State. I mean, they put up points against Notre Dame. So we see the offense can move and put up points. We see Jordan Travis dribble the ball like Iverson and get into the end zone. Like, he turned a bad play, what was potential bad play, into a good play. we seeing offense do things and make strides. And I don't see that defensively with more talent. And I'm looking at this Miami game right now, and they are tied with Virginia. Anybody watching this game? I got it on behind me, but I haven't paid 1 second. Haven't paid attention to it for 1 second, so I don't know how the game's really going. Looks like Miami's about to score right here, though, or at least they're in the red zone. I thought Miami would kind of handle this team a little better. Oh, he was down. No, I think if they review that, that was a sack. It looked like his knee was down before he threw that off. Cliff is back. It's a combination of just both. Right. I'm not going to disagree with you that every player is great and they're just all being used improperly. I watch players don't understand gap, can't locate the ball. 3 and 25 touchdown. Shake my head. It just hurts when my team won for years. I think 48. But again, you're absolutely right. Guys, it doesn't seem like some of these guys are coached, or I don't know. They don't seem to be able to locate the football in the air. Linebackers are definitely shooting the wrong gaps. I'm not going to disagree with you there. Again, the linebackers are young. At all times, we have at least one freshman linebacker on the field, whether that's Lundy or Dix. They're usually playing alongside Emmett Rice for that matter. So yes, they are shooting the wrong gaps at times. But again, explain to me why Raymond Woody is matched up. Why is your safety one-on-one with Atwell down the field? Why on the 2nd and 24 that's not the time to bring an all-out blitz with a single high and Travis J. And I don't know who was covering Atwell, but there was nobody on him. That's a bad play call. So, it is a combination of both. We're not going to disagree there. I think it's more so coaching. But there are guys that are underperforming. Norvell needs to recruit some dogs, 1 and 2 stars. I don't even know if I can rock with that. Dogs, yes. 1 and 2 stars. Can we talk about Fuller calling single high safety coverage on 3rd and long? Yeah, that was a 2nd and long. But that's what I was just talking about, Ardavius. That's what I've been saying. See, when people know what they're watching, we can talk. We can talk football all day. But that was a second and 24. They had him on. That was the play that they threw it. They threw they threw a backwards pass. And Tutu Atwell picked it up, but when he picked it up, he was on his knee, and they called it dead. It was a 2nd and 24. The next damn play, you all-out blitz with a single high safety, and Tutu Atwell's just running free down the – like, I could have scored on that play, and I don't run no damn 4-2 or whatever it is Atwell run. The job is too big for Fuller. Panama Jack with you. It's time for Odell to have a chat with Norvell. It's time for somebody to. I don't know if Odell's the guy that has that chat. Hell, maybe after Norvell did not sound pleased today. Maybe Norvell's having that talk with Fuller right now personally. Norvell didn't sound pleased today. You don't want to say it, so you don't want to say it. So I will. It's Fuller's. Bro, I've been saying it. I'm just trying to play some because everybody's telling me it's the players. FSU fan base is pretty split 50-50. When I go to look on Twitter and I go to some of these message boards, people talking football. I got 50% telling me the players just suck. I got 50% saying Fuller sucks. I'm on the Fuller sucks bandwagon. Let me be clear about that. I'm not saying all the players are perfect, but no defense has a bunch of perfect players. There's a reason why some guys go to the league and get exposed as bust, but they seem pretty damn good in college. Why was that? Well, one reason is some guys just don't make the transition, and another reason is some guys were the deficiencies were masked in college because of good coaching. Bro, they had to see some progress, but defensive recruits can tell if a DC will help them and put them in the right position and get ready for the NFL. The scheme is to bend, then break. Bend and then break. That's a new scheme, yeah. Did Miami score? What happened? Miami was about to score, y'all. What happened? I know all them Cane fans came in here. Y'all better not lose to Virginia. That's all I'm going to say. All I'm going to say. What happened to our field goal kickers in the recent years? That's another thing, man. Now, granted, the field goal doesn't make a difference in this game, but we missed another field goal. They got to figure out, and they even went back to the guy I said that should have been the field goal kicker in Grothus. So at this point, we might just not have a good field goal kicker on the team, guys. That's another thing. Overrated, let's keep it real. But he ball out against Scrubs. Let's keep it real about Terry. One trick pony. Great content. Keep it up. Thanks, Cliff. And I, great feedback. We can talk, it ain't nothing personal, bro. We just talking football. I'm not saying you taking it personal. I'm just explaining. I love it. Because everybody's not going to agree. But if we can have a real conversation about what's going on with Florida State, I'm all for it. How do you feel about Rice's play? I thought he played solid today, Brian. Overall, I have not been a fan of what Rice has been doing. But I did think he played one of his more – to me, he played with energy. He played with physicality, So I saw Rice shoot some gaps and make some tackles today. Overall, I thought Dix had a weak game today. Steven Dix did not have a great game today. After playing, I thought, pretty well against North Carolina. You're going to get that roller coaster up and down with a true freshman. I thought Emmett Rice was pretty solid today. Yeah, he blitzed on 2nd and 24 and got burnt. Got burnt, Mac Will. Now let me. I know as a fan base, we ask, man, let's blitz more. Let's play man-to-man coverage. But Adam Fuller's the defensive coordinator. He needs to be aware, know when to do that. 2nd 24, I'll tell you right now, is not the time you do that. If anything, I'm not saying you play a soft zone on that play. But if anything, you want to force him, if they're going to gain any yards, well, you want to force him to try to make it a third. I was expecting FSU to give up some yards on the 2nd down and make a 3rd and manageable because that's just the defense I come to expect. But to get hit for 60 because you sell out on a 2nd and 24, that's not the time to sell out. Come on. FSU players also need to get in order. Each face and hold. That is true. And that is one thing I do think that this team lacks. I think Jordan Travis has really took that offense by hold and seems to be the leader offensively. Marv doesn't seem to be able to reach these guys on the defense. I don't know. Like, there's no Telvin Smith or LaMarcus Joyner on this team. I don't know who the leader is on that defense. I thought Chuba threw some really good balls today, Miles. It's a shame that all of them were dropped. How many touchdown passes did Portier drop? Like, come on, you're an FSU wide receiver. You're not going to win one of those. You're 6'4", 200 pounder. You can't win one 50-50 ball. Guys got weak hands. They got to get their hand game up. I thought Purdy made some good throws. I think the future's still bright for Purdy. We may end up seeing Purdy sooner than later. I'm not sure how healthy Jordan Travis is, man. What's your thoughts on? I got a question mark on linebacking coach Marv. I want to like him. I think he may be dealing with some lackluster talent there at the linebacking position, even though I think Dix has a bright future. Lundy has a solid future. And some other guys, Kavion Glenn, we're not even seeing. So I want to be high on Marv, but I got to give him a question mark right now because I think Emmett Rice has played better in the last few games. But, man, our linebacking play is still not good. In coverage, we at least in running, they're okay. Like, I give them a C at the best. I got to give them an F in pass coverage. Our linebackers can't cover for shit. Man, the receivers and corners panic when they know the ball is coming. We need dogs that can make plays, finger waving. I agree with that, Mr. C. I'm tired of seeing that too. Now, I'm not here to I understand if you played the game, you understand there's a certain level of passion that you play with. So when you make a good play, you do want to but when you're down and other teams hanging damn near 50 on you and you're finger waving because Raymond Woody should have, first of all, he should have had an interception on the one play. Then he gets up and bro, what are you doing? You've been burnt multiple times this game. Offensive pass interferences. Come on, man. Tighten up. Tighten up. You don't come to FSU if you're a defensive player that wants a career in the NFL. I agree with that, Caden. If I'm a defensive player, I don't see that FSU defense as right now doesn't look like something I want to. If I aspire to be in the NFL, I don't know. No, Lorenzo, I won't go that far. Offense just has to carry the team. And maybe in defense, maybe the defense will play in spurts, like what you saw in that first half of the North Carolina game, but don't expect a complete game from this defense. I just don't see that. But to say we won't win another game, I think you're pushing it. You don't go from beating a North Carolina team, who everybody keeps calling overrated, but they've played pretty good football this year. You don't go from beating that team to not winning another game. That's crazy. They did try to, and I don't even like that move. Like, you put Warner there, put a Gainer. We've all been calling to play Amari Gainer at DN. Why are we playing Leonard? Leonard Warner's not fast like Amari Gainer. He's not quick off the edge. He don't got no burst. I was not a fan of seeing 35 at defensive end. That didn't make sense to me. I don't know what it is about them not wanting to play Amari Gainer at that position. I don't know why they're so against it. Hold on. Brooklyn, I'm coming to you. I missed you. All right. I do have a problem with the offense being predictable. Was it just me, or could you see some of the? Yeah. So I have especially when the offense puts a guy in motion, I can usually call the play. Again, I'm not a fan of their red zone play calling. If I got to criticize the offense on a few things, it's the red zone play calling. They seem to get. There was one drive, man, where Webb is just running the rock, and then they go away from him, and I don't understand that. Keep feeding the man. Keep feeding them. They do things like that I don't quite understand sometimes. And if Fuller's defense continues to look trash for the rest of the year, I think Norvell gives him another year. They are buddies. Well, that's Norvell would be a fool to do that. FSU administration needs to lock down Coach Atkins. I've been calling that, Irv. You give Coach Atkins as much money as he wants. Sorry. Max says, I think we'll see Purdy after the bye week. There's a chance. I'll tell you what they should do. And this goes back to Brother Brooklyn. And this goes back to me talking about that offensive red zone play calling. If Jordan Travis can get you in the red zone, and if you're not that confident in his throwing to hit the tight windows, call some packages for Chubba Purdy, because Chubba Purdy can still run that thing. Call some packages for Purdy in that red zone. Make Purdy maybe your, Tim Tebow-esque, where you call some plays for him, where he can run or throw. Because Purdy had some nice throws. I think that they will implement that for sure. I'm hoping. I do think you probably see more from Purdy going forward. I don't know if you're going to see full-out starter mode from Chubba Purdy, though. No. I ain't seen him. If he's on the roster, I ain't seen him yet. Miles Woodward, what did you think about Hawkins? Hawkins is a good player. I've been saying that. Your thoughts on Coach Woodson? I question his. I question at the beginning of the stream. I questioned him too, because I think he's got a ton of talent back there. And guys just aren't playing good. Now, here's the question that you have to ask. Offensively, it looks like for the most part, all the offensive coaches, with the exception of those wide receivers, seem to be on the same page, running the same thing. I watched this defense, and I'm not sure the linebackers, the D-line, and the DBs are all on the same page of what's going on defensively. That's another criticism I have. I feel like our D-line plays one way, our linebackers play another way, and our DBs play another way. Right? You want to be aggressive with the D-line, passive with the DBs, And I don't know what you want to do with the linebackers. So that's how it looks to me. Now, maybe that's Adam Fuller not putting this not having this defense in sync, or maybe Coach Woodson ain't doing his job at the DB level. It's really tough for me to say. The DBs aren't going to be great if you can't generate a pass rush. But even on the times where this quarterbacks have to scramble out the pocket and throw, guys are still running free. Even when you got good coverage, you panic and can't turn around, locate the ball, and make a play of the ball. You have to hold receivers and get pass interferences. So there's some miscoaching there too, I think. What's the big reason that Coach Odell can't hold a higher position on any coaching staff? I don't mean to plug him in to get by it. I mean, why? I believe Coach Odell. That's not a question that Coach Odell would have to answer. I think I remember hearing him in an interview before, really not saying he wanted all that responsibility, maybe. I could be wrong on that. I don't know. I wonder if UNC is saying now, how do we lose? Probably exactly what they're saying. Warner is slow, needs to keep him off the field. Crying out loud, I really just wanted to see us because I agree, Panama. I'm not. It ain't about the loss, man. But you can't lose 48 to whatever to Louisville, a 1-4 football team, man. Come on. If you're gonna lose, and we would have went out there and you lose by 3 points or whatever, even a touchdown, I'm okay. Whatever. You lost a competitive football game. This team, that's gonna happen. To get your doors blown off by Louisville, how can you favor FSU in any games the rest of the way? We play this Virginia team right now. That game looking tough. That don't mean Miami's any good, but Virginia hanging tough right now. I agree with you about Rice, but he can't pass cover. None of our linebackers can pass cover, man. Sideline to sideline, he is horrible. No doubt. None of our linebackers are good in coverage either, though. I don't know if we have an answer for the coverage because Dix ain't great either. Time for Fuller to start experimenting during this bye week. Fuller's had 5 weeks to do something, and he's done nothing. Outlook on the rest of the season. Look, I still think you can have a positive season. My bad. I still think you can have a positive season. I just think they got to come to grips with. They got to identify what kind of defense they're trying to run. I still don't believe they know what defense they're trying to run. Offensively, at least we have an understanding of what we're trying to do offensively and are building on that. Defensively, just everything seems lost. And, can we still – I still think every team on the rest of – I still think every team is beatable. But we are beatable. So, I don't know. 5 wins, 6 if we're lucky. That's what I'm going to go with. I was wanting T-Buck for a while. What's up, Yella? Wish we could take that DC at Wisconsin. Yeah, man. Fuller is Norvell's friend, so we'll see what he do about it. Well, like I said, man, Fuller and Norvell can be friends all day. Fuller actively called him out publicly today, so we'll see what that means. Guys are friends all the time, but guess what? You got to save your ass, and that means by letting go of dead weight. Sometimes you got to do that. I wish I could say the same thing. You hired T-Buck. You have a bye week coming up, so we got to keep the sour tape. Well, with the bye week, they got to figure some stuff out. Defensively, if you're gonna play guys, here's my thing with defense too. If you're gonna commit to playing guys, man, just go all out and play the young guys. Look at the guys that Virginia's running at quarterback right now. A dude wearing number 98 is playing quarterback right now, folks. He looks like a linebacker or defensive end. And Virginia's hanging with Miami. Driving the football, as a matter of fact. I ain't trying to make this a Miami thing. But Yella, you might want to pay attention to that game, homie. Samuel says Louisville, the story tomorrow. I mean, this sarcastically. Louisville has turned the corner. Right. So the question now is, yeah, where does FSU go from here? I didn't, spent the whole first hour. I didn't even realize how long I've been on here, guys. Hit the like button if you're still sticking with me tonight. I still got 50 people in here, and I've been on almost 2 hours. So I salute to everybody in the chat, everybody that's watching. But I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going till we can't go no more. So I just spent the first 2 hours of this thing talking about what I see, how bad the defense is, and what I think. I think players or coaching. That's a great question earlier. Where do we go from here? We thought we made a step forward, only to take 2 steps back. What does FSU do from here becomes the great question. Where do you go? What adjustments need to be made? I believe offensively, catch drills. Like, you got to put them receivers through the ringer. You got to coach them hard in this bye week. They better be catching tennis balls, or like dodgeball. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. Hey, they better throw bricks at them and make them catch it with the hands. That's another problem I see from the receivers. These guys don't catch with their hands. They bring the ball in here. That's why they got all these drops. You need to start catching with the hands. So you got to improve that. And I think now is the time. If you're gonna do it, now is the time. Now is the time to start implementing some maybe Purdy packages. For one, it's going to alleviate the pressure on Jordan Travis. I think it might open up that red zone offense, and Purdy can do some of the same things. We saw in a little bit this afternoon, morning for me, but afternoon for you guys. We saw a little bit this afternoon of Purdy can move a little bit. Now you see I think there's a glaring difference in Chuba Purdy running and Jordan Travis. Purdy claimed he'd run a 4.4. I ain't see no 4.4 speed. So let's just get that straight. But Purdy got a little bit of running to him. Definitely has a better arm. I think you can utilize that. I think Purdy catches a defense with his pants down. I think Purdy can run for some solid yards. So I think you implement Purdy on offense. You start maybe getting him in the packages. I'm not saying he should be the starter. I'm still with Jordan Travis as a starter, but I do think Purdy can help. Receivers need to man up. Somebody on that receiving core needs to step up. I think this might be Dugan's last year here. Sorry. I'm not seeing any progression with these receivers. So there's that. And then defensively, you just need a rehaul. You need to go back to the drawing board defensively and figure some stuff out. Check your cash app, Polk. Hey, I appreciate you, Gotti. Did you put a message on it? $15 cash app from Gotti. No, $5. Oh, somebody sent me $10. Okay. Oh, that was T2Y. He sent me my. All right, $5 from Gotti. Thank you for supporting the channel, homie. Appreciate that. Fuller has to go. He's over his head. Let's keep riding. You know what? I wish head coaches would think outside the box and hire coaches other than the last stops or affiliations. When you're taking a job like that, Panama, a lot of time you do like to keep the guys that you have a little bit of rapport with. I get it. I mean, Taggart pretty much brought all his homeboys with him. So I get it. At the same time, I agree. Norvell probably should have really did a more thorough hiring process for defensive coordinator. Bro, 99 is at 99. They have a dude wearing number 99 on offense, and Miami can't do nothing with them. I ain't going to talk too much about Miami because they still might win. I don't want to. But a lot of Miami fans are quiet right now, so that tells me they're watching this game. Polk, let's poke at some of the small things on the team. Like Douglas should not be returning kicks. I agree. The problem is, the real problem with this kick return game, we don't have any electric wide receivers. We don't. And the one guy I think they want the ball in his hands is Travis J. And it's obvious Travis J is not healthy. Travis J is not healthy right now. You can see it. He is not play. That is not the same Travis J I watched play against Georgia Tech and play against Miami, where he looked like he was flying all over the field. Travis J has looked like he's lost a step. He does not look healthy. And the reason I know he's not healthy, because if he was healthy, he'd be returning kicks, and he's not. And they haven't been able to find an answer. Helton, they try him out, but again, Keyshawn Helton is running with the knee brace on. He's not 100%. He's not 100%. I don't know anybody else you can put back there. Corey Wren, they tried him out, remember? And he didn't look explosive. So Ja'Kai Douglas ain't the answer. Corey Wren's not the answer. We might not just have an answer over there until the one guy we want. And, for FSU, man, you got to recruit to fill that position with somebody. Route drills also work on getting open. Receivers going to need a lot of work. One tribe. Receivers need a lot of work. Philly needs to be the change of pace back with Webb, not Corbin. This man just take like a 50-yard sack. Man, Virginia's really not a good team. But they don't have a quarterback. They're literally playing quarterback like in the sand right now. Like they're just throwing guys back there. Philly needs to change the pace back with Webb, not Corbin. I think Corbin, I honestly believe Ja'Shawn Corbin adds some good things to the backfield. I agree that the top two backs are Philly and Webb. I believe Corbin should be that third down, short yardage type of back. And I do believe, Miami, you are so sorry. What the hell? Not gonna celebrate too much. But Philly, yeah. Philly should be that second guy off the bench for sure. I still think Corbin adds a lot of good things, though. He's not the back that some of us may have thought we were getting, but he's still a very solid contributor. Norvell has already put Fuller on the hot seat. Exactly, sir. He put him on the hot seat today, so I don't know. Everybody's saying they're buddies and he won't move them. I mean, I don't know. He put him on the hot seat, and I'm hoping something changes rather than just be overall scheme and finding a defense that fits these players. Money talks and BS walks. So if Norvell wants to keep coaching big boy football, making big time money, for the money Norvell will fire Fuller. Yeah, absolutely, Samuel. That you make a good point there. If Norvell wants to stay at Florida State making, I believe before COVID started, I think he was making like $4 or $5 million a year. I know he took a pay cut once the pandemic started. If Fuller wants to keep making that type of money, because he wasn't making that type of money at Memphis, he wants to keep making that. Yeah, Adam Fuller, you got to go. You ain't finna affect my pockets. I get somebody in here that can get the job done. I'm here late. Hey, baby, we just starting. But we've seen over 5 games who can play and who can't. I can't understand why we give so much play time to guys like Warner, Woodbay, Dent, and Woody. Even Corbin is the third best back. Isn't Purdy better? Purdy looks like he has a better arm for sure. I think he is a better pocket passer. It was good to see Purdy. Like if you want to take a positive out of this game, I thought Purdy threw some good football, guys. Receivers just couldn't catch him. You look at the stat line, you're gonna be like, damn, Purdy didn't hit a pass, but Purdy was hitting guys in the numbers, and guys just weren't catching balls. Oops, my bad, Brandon. I didn't mean to come to you, but we need another Levante Whitfield return kits. Absolutely. We don't have a guy like that on the roster, though. We just don't. My chat jumped, so if I skip you, I'm sorry. Here we go. Back in the day, practices at FSU were harder than the games because of the intensity and competition between players, but it's hard to attract top recruits now with blowouts. Oh, they called that touchdown back? They really called that touchdown back. That's crazy. Bro, if you're not watching the game, I keep glancing back. They got a guy 99 out there, and he's killing Miami. I thought Miami would actually win this game comfortably, so I'm actually surprised that this is a competitive game. Still a whole second half of football, though. Yeah, I agree with you about Dugans. Didn't want to say it, but Fuller and Odell might be on the hot seat. Odell is not looking too hot either. I'm more willing to give the wait and see, and he missed the field goal. I'm more willing to give that wait and see on Odell, but the wide receivers aren't getting it done. What do you think the chances of getting Strong? If they want him, if you reach out to him, if Strong is an analyst at Alabama right now, that's all he is. Reach out to him. I don't know what the chances are, but the man's coached at Florida, at USF. We know he coaches the state of Florida, has ties in the state of Florida. If you want Charlie Strong, reach out to Charlie Strong and try to get him. So that means we have no explosive players on this team. That's a problem. I mean, I don't see any explosive players. The explosive guys we got are Webb. You're not going to put Webb back there returning kicks. Terry, you're not going to put him back there. Who else is explosive? I like Toafili, but I don't think he's a kick returner. Put Ontario back there. Ontario got to prove he can catch footballs first. How many drops he had today? Your conclusion was it was the coaches. On defense, sure. In conclusion, yeah, the defensive coaching sucks on this team. Coaching sucks. I thought Minnesota would beat Michigan. That don't look like the case. Michigan look like they doing their thing. And Miami might score before the half. Or at least get a field goal. There's that tight end. There's some good blocking. Some good blocking right there. But yeah, in conclusion, yeah, there you go. I think it was the coaching defensively, and I think there's little things that we can clean up here. I'm looking forward to continue to see Purdy possibly become more of a focal part of the offense. If anything, those packages also helps him get adjusted to the speed of the game. I don't have answers for our wide receivers though. Somebody just has to seize the moment. Somebody just has to seize the moment on offense. There's no reason why all of our offensive players are dropping passes. Asante can return kicks. I don't know if Asante's, I don't know, man. I know we like to always think, oh, we can just throw any DB or wide receiver back there, but it's not. I don't think that's Asante's game. And we kind of saw that in those interceptions in the Georgia Tech game. I mean, he should have had at least taken one of those to the house. And the return game doesn't really seem to be his strong suit. What do you think about 2B system? Again, it depends on in what manner you're trying to go about it, Panama. I'm okay with Jordan Travis being your primary starter and you running maybe some red zone packages for Purdy. I'm okay with that. What I don't want to do is one series where we got Jordan Travis and the next series we're rotating Chuba Purdy. And that's a no-no. You go with Travis as a starter, and if you want to give Purdy those red zone snaps or some wildcat type plays, I'm with that all the way. But I don't want to. We start rotating quarterbacks. I think you're asking for more problems. That could be the issue, Polk. We're not recruiting enough athletes. Well, they damn sure haven't recruited them recently. Corbin was a good kick return at Texas A&M, but he don't look explosive now. Yeah, he did have that knee injury, and you're right. He don't look explosive anymore. Would you fire Dugans and the whole defensive staff? I would fire Dugans. And yeah, well, I wouldn't say the whole defensive staff. I think there's still some good coaches on that defense. But I'd fire the head of it. I think he's the problem. He was here. They don't throw to him. Asante goes games where you're not really gonna hear his name. They didn't target him. And they didn't put Asante on Atwell. For again, that's ask Adam Fuller why Asante Samuel did not match up on Tutu Atwell. Ask him. I don't know the answer to that. But they did not throw towards Asante Samuel. Michigan put up like 35 in the first half. 2020 is really surprising. You ain't lying about 2020, man. Do you think it's time for us to let go of Odell? I think Dugan's yes. I'm not quite there on Odell just yet. Corbin gained too much weight, and his injury is why he don't look like he did at A&M. Corbin definitely looks slower. I did say that too. I said I think that weight gain lacked explosiveness after that weight gain. Remember when FSU recruited the players called athletes? That's what we're missing from the kick return game. Yep, we don't have any of them. Where is young Mr. Sheffield at running back? Sheffield there, but I mean, I don't know. Do you want to try him at a kick return game? Is what you're saying? Because I don't see Sheffield cracking that running back rotation because he's not better than any of the three guys ahead of him. When do you think we'll see Terry again? I don't know. A part of me doesn't necessarily believe we'll see Terry again. They don't get separation and they can't catch the ball. They don't get separation and they can't catch the ball. It's tough to have receivers who can't catch and defensive players who can't tackle. Ain't that like the fundamentals of football? Ain't that crazy? Do you go young? They're already going young at linebacker, Jay. Steven Dix and Lundy are getting majority of the snaps, and Emmett Rice. Like, that's really the three linebacking. And then they use Gainer in this type of hybrid role that I'm not a fan of. But your linebackers are young. We just got to accept that with that linebacker play, yeah, there's going to be bad and good with that. Steven Dix is going to have a game like he had against North Carolina where he looks pretty damn solid. And then he's going to have a game like he did today where I thought Emmett Rice played better than out of the two linebackers. Hell, Polk, every position on this team struggles. It's frustrating to watch other teams do simple shit, and we struggle. I agree with that. I do get upset when I watch teams do simple plays and execute, and we seem to struggle with those. When they did put Asante on Atwell, they didn't target him. So why wasn't that the game plan the entire game? But it's the players, remember. It's the players. What game are you watching now? I'm watching this Miami-Virginia game, which is a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. And Virginia leaving points on the board. Quite frankly, they probably should be beating Miami right now. Agree with Gino. At Gino. Bruce, they don't even fight for the ball. Recruiting classes have gone down each year since 2017, and now it's showing. That is the issue. These white calls are nasty. But I'm taking it easy today. We'll see what Virginia does in a minute left. Miami's up 10-7. On that play that we're trying to push the ball in the end zone and couldn't, do you think it might be a good idea to bring in a D-line guy? I thought they should have put Corbin in the Wildcat right there. And maybe, lead block him with a Lundy or a D-line guy. I thought that would have been smart too. I wasn't a fan of that one. I thought, Jordan Travis, I know he gets hard and tough yards. But yeah, put a bigger body in there that can move a pile. Marvin must be getting double teamed every game. If so, they could have an extra guy open to make plays, but it's still not happening. I didn't think that the D-line was really a problem today. What's happening? What's going on, Terry? When it comes to returning the ball, I will still say leave Rennan there and let that young speedster get accustomed to that role. Fair enough. That's a female drink. Hey, Bobby. The reason I'm drinking this is I'm about to start going on this diet, and I gotta drink my alcohol, but this has low calories, so we're gonna do the White Claws for now. Don't judge me. Don't judge me, Bobby. What do you think about Travis J at corner? So I think Travis J is in the perfect spot. I think safety fits him. I think he's a ball hawk who can read the field and make the appropriate jumps on the ball and all that. So I like Travis J there. My thing is, if you move Travis J from safety, then who you filling his spot? I don't know. I don't know. I would have to see some corner play from Travis J first. I just knew they was going to be ready to play today. Hell, they practice at the crack of dawn every day. I thought they would be ready to play too. I thought they were going to come into this game ready to play. And for whatever reason, defensively, just from the jump, they just didn't show it. They just didn't show it. Okay, took a time out there. But hey, we still rocking heavy over here, so hit the like button. And come in the chat. I done my ranting, and I'm not even too mad today. I've been madder. I've been more upset. I kind of watched this game and was like, damn, you know how you just become numb. I just became numb to the feeling of hold on. Let me check my audio. I just became numb to it, guys. I'm watching this game and I didn't even get mad. I just started watching this game like, this is kind of expected. This become expected. And that's right, Irv. Don't be judging my drink, man. I ain't on the hard liquor tonight. I can't get on here and be on the hard liquor every night. Then I'm going to turn into an alcoholic. And then y'all going to be seeing me crying on live streams and crazy shit like that. So we're taking it chill today. It's like it's starting to rain down there. Are they in Miami? Like the rain coming down. Is it me or the defense play in slow motion? Defenses look slow all year, though. I'm trying to see if Virginia's able to get some offense going, man. All Virginia doing is dropping back and running, and they're having success. They're not even really doing anything, man. It's crazy. But Miami might be playing this like bend and break. I don't think Virginia's going to be able to score enough points in this game. So who do you think we have coming in on defense that you think helps us improve? Jen, it won't matter if this team don't fix the play calling defensively. And right now, who's coming in that's going to help day one? I don't necessarily see him. Chambry Jackson, maybe he comes in day one and can compete, and generate a pass rush for us. I mean, that's a possibility. Maybe one of those DBs can crack the rotation. I just keep thinking about defensive players. I mean, maybe Chambry Jackson, I think, would maybe be the best bet. With Jennings leaving the class, I don't know if I see a guy that's going to help us day one. Ooh. Might be targeting. Teams don't fear FSU anymore. There's nothing to fear. We're not giving them nothing to fear, Jay. Douglas looks low. Polk, drink your drink. You are a grown-ass man. Thank you, no-blooded. I got to explain nothing to y'all asses. Shoot. I think Brownlee needs the opposite of Sante. The thing about that one tribe, I'm not necessarily disagreeing with you. I like Brownlee in the slot. I think Brownlee is effective in the slot. I think they should use him on more corner blitzes, like how FSU used to lose Jalen Ramsey a lot. I like Brownlee in the slot. I had a problem with the refs today. The ref missing the car, knee hitting the ground, even though he's standing right there, but he called a TD. I had a problem with that call, man, on that illegal block. That was, I don't think that was, maybe somebody disagrees, but that was not an illegal block. He didn't hit him in the head. He didn't hit him low. He hit him square up. It was just a crackback block. It was a clean block. Like, man, I've been playing football and watching football for a long time. And if you've played football, you've gotten hit like that, and you've delivered some hits like that. That was just a clean block. It was nothing personal foul about it. I don't know. Wasn't a fan of that call right at all. Like the dude doesn't have his head on a swivel. He's about to start pursuing the play and just gets rocked. Let this sink in. We don't have any good linebacker play and don't have an explosive kick return, punt return at Louisville as a very good linebacker and also a punt returner. The rest of the season is washed. The D will stop no one. Grim outlook, y'all, from Pay Attention. I don't want to call it a wash, but I don't see us stopping too many people myself. You just got to hope the offense continues to grow and take strides. The offense, Novell, is going to hit the portal hard, especially on the defensive side. He has to. Definitely has to. Was Janoris Robinson on the sideline because he was smoking cigars in the locker room after the game last week, celebrating like he won the national? Janoris was, well, first of all, man, it's like pouring down over here in Miami. Whole team was smoking cigars. J-Rob wasn't on the sidelines. The rest missing a Cardinal lineman throwing down a D lineman, no flag, Card gets TD. There was a couple holds that they definitely missed. But that happens, one thing you never heard me, I never came on here and really blame the refs like that because I miss holds and stuff like that, man. All that happens every game. I mean, there's a saying in football that you could literally, by the letter of the law, call holding on every play. So at the end of the day, man, Florida State players, while I have a problem with what this coaching staff is doing defensively, some of these players do need to look in the mirror, man. These receivers, I'm going to call out the receivers. You need to make a play. Yeah, that bad block call. Yeah, that was I thought that was trash. We have to. Offensively, we got to fill out that receiver position because Terry's going to leave. Terry's going to leave after this year. I don't see Terry coming back. And quite frankly, I think you might need to expect some further attrition in that receiver room. I wouldn't be surprised if some of those guys transfer out too. They're going to have to hit the portal, I think, for a receiver. You still want to continue to build O-line depth, so continue to target offensive linemen. I would target a wide receiver. I think you're good at running back. Norvell doesn't seem like the type to go after a quarterback. I don't think necessarily need to. Receiver, O-line. Defensively, linebacker, pass rusher, and another corner won't hurt. Another corner will not hurt. Man, we've been having bad weather down here in Miami for like 2 weeks straight now. Yeah, I see it, man. It's pouring down. We'll see what adjustments Miami makes in the second half. That's crazy, though, because Virginia literally is playing with no offense right now, and it's actually a competitive game. Teams must have stayed up too late last night celebrating that North Carolina win for the 6th night in a row. I don't know. Honestly, I don't think it's that. I think the defense just is what we thought they were. I think you saw one good half of defense, and I think some of us just said, oh, man, they figured it out, and they didn't. And the defense went back to being what the defense was the first 3-4 weeks of the season. The defense is what it is. I don't have any faith in it because I don't have any faith that this coach knows how to fix it because nothing he has shown me shows that he knows what he's doing at this point. So I don't think the defense gets fixed this year, folks. I didn't see Miko today. Bobby, I didn't see him. If healthy, Chuba is the QB next year. I see that coming. I do see that coming. If healthy, I think Purdy beats out Jordan Travis in a straight up head to head battle. Just because he opens up the game more in the passing game. Can't wait to see Antonio's Cromartie reaction video about this damn game. He dropped a tweet today where he just continued to go at Fuller. He doesn't believe Adam Fuller's a good coach, and I agree with him. We do. We had 11 penalties a day for over 100 yards. We still lack the mental focus to even put ourselves in position sometimes to be effective, you know? And most of the penalties are just stuff that, again, when you start talking about penalties, we can throw that on the players. Because I'm watching Norvell hold players accountable when they commit penalties. He usually benches guys, especially if they're dumb personal foul penalties. He throws you on the sideline. Every time I see a guy get a penalty, he usually gets in their face, and if he's not yelling at him, he's definitely talking to him. So at some point, the players I'm watching a guy and I'm watching our offensive guards, Bavion Johnson, Brady Scott, get false start after false start after false start. You're the guard. You're right next to the ball. How do you not know the snap count? All you have to do is watch the ball. You're standing right next to it. Our guards are always the culprits when it comes to the false start penalties. So they gotta, yeah. And again, those type of penalties are coming from veterans, Bavion Johnsons and Brady Scotts. Those are veteran players, man. Those are veteran players. I'm not saying you're wrong. I just don't see. To me, that doesn't necessarily make sense because I'm watching Mississippi State look like garbage. I don't know what is Mississippi State going to offer other than being. It ain't like Florida State. It's not like Tallahassee and Mississippi State are 30,000 miles away from each other. That's essentially right down the road from each other. I don't think Mississippi State offers Luke Altmaier anything that Florida State ain't offering them. And Mississippi State already has a guy committed to them that's a higher rated quarterback. Ole Miss would be the bigger threat, in my opinion, just because their offense seems better with Lane Kiffin. I don't know if I foresee him going to Mississippi State. That Mike Leach stuff don't work unless he wants to go to the SEC and get killed. Because he has to drop back 50 times a game and I wouldn't go that route. That's just me. Watch how the offense look with Chuba. It will be humming with the work Atkins is doing. O-line is improving. Yes, it is. Players got to police each other to stop these BS penalties. Yeah, again, you go back to that. We lack any real leadership, man. We lack any real leadership. Jonathan, appreciate you, man. He says great perspective. $7. That's great. Okay, great. 19. Thanks for the $7 cash app, man. And all of it goes appreciated, guys. It really does. Because I need to buy a new mic anyway. So help the mic fund out. But thank you, great, for the donation. Hold on. All right, there we go. I meant that was a joke. I should have been more clear on that. What did you say? Did I miss something? I'm sorry. Oh, okay. Yeah, I figured you were joking. My bad. Atkins needs a big raise. Atkins is going to demand one soon because if you're not giving him a raise, somebody's going to see the work that he's doing and offer him some money. One of these big SEC schools are going to want that dude. I can foresee that. I can foresee one of these big SEC schools trying to come in and snatch a Coach Atkins from us. So FSU got to lock him in. Mike Norvell's got to lock him in. And if I was him, I would try to convince Atkins, hey, don't leave unless it's like for a head coaching job. That would be my take on it. But Atkins is going to demand some money. That's for damn sure. But I don't know what we say. I gotta hold on. Getting another donation here, I think. Yes, I do. Who's this one from? Sorry. From Joseph Oliver. Thanks for the donation. Again, definitely goes appreciated. $11 donation from Joseph Oliver. He didn't leave a message, but appreciate that, man. Talked about that earlier, Bobby. We don't have a damn kicker. We can't hit field goal to save our life. Now, granted, the one today was like a 50-yarder. I get it, I guess. You know, that's not necessarily a gimme. But he wasn't even close. I really feel like we need an SEC DC. Remember what happened the last time we had an SEC DC? Oh, yeah, I remember. Granted, he wasn't the defensive coordinator when we hired him. I think he was only the DB coach at Bama. But, hey, he worked wonders, did he not? I just wonder how Marcus Woodson is teaching DB techniques. I agree. Talked about that too, D. Thompson. When the ball's in the air, they don't know how to locate the ball. They don't know how to play the ball without pass interference. It's getting frustrating. It's almost to the point now that on a jump ball, you can almost guarantee an FSU player is going to get called for pass interference because they don't know how to play it. Unless your name's Asante Samuel, they don't know how to play the ball without pass interference at this point. Well, that was the name. That was the name he sent me, so I was trying to give the man a shout out and let him know I got it. His name was Jonathan. That's Joseph, I mean. Jay. Yeah, I think Jay Oliver. I think that was his name. I don't know. My bad. I ain't trying to call you out like that. My bad. In contrast, no coach can leave for 2 years unless for a head coaching position. Is that true? I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Is that like a part of their contract? I didn't know that though. But even then, I mean, 2 years, this is going to be year one. And then after next year, he needs to be up for a raise or he's going to be up for somebody trying to pay him big money. I just don't think we could lose Atkins. Offensively, I'm good with what I'm seeing from the running backs, the quarterbacks, and offensive line. Dugans to me is expendable. Defensively, I would argue on Woodson. I don't know. Question mark. Marv. Question mark. I'm solid on what I'm seeing from the defensive line. I don't want to just turn my back on Odell Haggins. I can't do it. I don't, Odell Haggins is still recruiting. I'm not gonna turn my back on Haggins yet. But the whole defensive staff is questionable in a lot of ways. I mean, but I honestly I think that defense starts with that defensive coordinator and what he's calling, and go from there. Go from there and then improve. Yeah, so that's good though. I mean, if the contract says you can't go nowhere, I mean that helps a little bit. But this is year one. I know the players don't get credited for this year in terms of eligibility, but I'm pretty sure the contracts still do. Stoops had our defense balling back in 2019. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's all about coaching. I remember how bad that defense was, before we hired Mark Stoops. And turned it around. There you go. See, I wasn't trying to call out the government, man. I'm just giving you a shout out. So I apologize if I put your business out there in the streets. Odell needs to go ahead and help Deion Sanders at Jacksonville State. Fuller making him look bad. Don't say that. I want to keep Odell. Time for the dunk to hit the road. Yeah, it looks like it, man. Dunk might be time to head back down south or to. I know he's a Tallahassee native, but it might be time for him to head back to Miami. And I think his wife is from Miami. I'm not sure, but yeah, Dugans. I'm not happy with this receiving core, and quite frankly, if it wasn't for Terry, they wouldn't. I can't find a receiver that. I can't find a receiver that catches well, that runs good routes. Like, man, our receiving room is bad. And it got exposed today. The receiving room is bad. And Terry made it look solid. Unless we get Keyshawn healthy again, I don't see too much improvement. But you also got to recruit the position. And, maybe you get a healthy Brian Robinson to make some changes. Maybe you move Ja'Kai Douglas out to receiver. He played receiver in high school. I don't know. But you got to figure something out with that receiving core. He recruited fairly well, if I remember correctly. I don't think any of the Miami fans are being pretty quiet right now because they're at life and death with Virginia. So they're not chiming in as hard as they were. I think most Miami fans was happy they got rid of Dugans. However, I do feel like Dugans recruited pretty decently down there, if I remember correctly. But the coaching doesn't look up to par. Some of the Miami guys might have loved him. I got a couple guys that weren't too happy with him. What's with not using Rector with some trick passing plays? They barely use him at tight end. I think I saw him in there blocking a couple times today, but again, if you're gonna start doing that, go with Purdy. Go with Purdy. Get him accustomed to the speed of the game. D-line was okay. They just need to get their hands up if they couldn't get to the ball. Also contain the ball carrier, DN, and linebackers. And safeties. Add safeties to that. Safeties couldn't contain for nothing, man. So, yeah, Dugans is looking like the weak link, though, on this offense. Maybe that's just a lack of talent, which I do agree. There's some lack of talent there. But, again, these guys ain't catch. Are these guys being coached right and they just get in the game and lose all the fundamentals? Because receivers are catching the ball like this. Well, you guys can't see me. Hold on. Receivers are catching the ball like this and not like this. They're not using their hands to catch the ball. They're letting the ball hit them and then trying to trap the ball. Anybody who knows anything, has ever played the game or been taught how to play receiver, knows you never let the ball hit your chest. You know why? The chest is like the ground. The ball going to bounce right off of your chest. The ball hits you in the hands and you bring it in. They're not catching the ball like this. Helton on that play where he drops the ball that Purdy threw. He's like trying to fill the punt. Now I get it. He's falling backwards, but you can fall backwards like this. He just tries to cradle it in and it bounces right through him. Do you think Peter Warrick as a wide receiver coach? I don't know. I follow P-Dub on Twitter. I think he coaches high school. I don't know. I don't know if P-Dub would be the name or the guy out there. I would tend to want to have guys with some proven college success, before we just start naming a bunch of former Florida State players. I get it. We like to name our People will be like, Marvin Jones and Derrick Brooks. And some of those guys I believe could help. But I also think, there's enough wide receiver coaches out there in the country doing good things that you can go get a proven track record guy and not hope Peter Warrick is a good wide receiver coach. I'm not saying he can't do it, I think you maybe taking a risk. And plus we've tried 2 former FSU wide receivers at wide receiver coach. And Lawrence Dawsey and Dugans, and to me, neither one of them were any good. Now I worry Norvell won't be able to get the guy he needs because of how the season might end. When you say the guy he needs, who do you mean? Did you see that interception Woody could have had if he could have attacked the ball? He looked like he was trying to cradle it also. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. That goes back to D. Thompson's point, man. Which isn't that point, but he made a point earlier. I believe it was him, where he said, right here, where he said, are they teaching these guys how to attack the ball in the air, how to pinpoint the ball in the air? I understand you're a DB, so you might not have the best hands. That's usually why most DBs play DB, because they don't really have the hands to play receiver. But man, attack the football. Attack the football. The defensive backs do not show great ball location skills or ball hawking skills. I miss that from our safeties. Ball hawks. And if you couldn't get the ball, you was laying a hit like a LaMarcus Joyner, like a Terrence Brooks. I miss guys like that, man. We ain't had a good safety in a hot minute. We need coaches, not former players. Yeah, I'm kind of with you right there, no-blooded. Like, I know we like to throw out all our former greats, but we need some proven guys, man. And I love me some Peter Warrick, but you got to get some guys out there, proven track records. Because the real job of most of your position coaches is recruiting. Recruiting. And I don't really see Ron Dugans killing the recruiting trail like that. And, I don't know. Whatever offensive, defensive player positions he is lacking right now, skill-wise. You mean on defense and offense? You won't be able to get the guys. I think he can get his guys. The key is to get your guys. He can get his guys, man. Recruiting is about, let's put it like this. Yes, recruiting, you want to win to be able to recruit. But in today's landscape, and I won't even say today's landscape, I think throughout the history of recruiting it's a lot about relationships as well, man. And I think a lot of times you can get a kid that you might have not normally gotten, even if you're not necessarily winning at a high level, if you can just build that relationship with them. I believe that. I think that's one of the things that's working in favor for Luke Altmaier. FSU offered that kid before that kid blew up on the scene and really became, one of the elite 11 quarterbacks and one of the more guys that's people are looking at. I mean, they offered that dude when he was really a no-name and a 3-star prospect, and he has shot up the ranking since. If I'm Luke Altmaier, obviously I'm speaking from my standpoint and not his, but if I'm Luke Altmaier, I look at that and go, these people believed in me when other people didn't. Now everybody wants to ride my hype train now that they see I'm actually good. I'll stick with Norvell because he believes in me. I know he's going to do what's best for me. You know what I mean? So I think that has a lot to do with recruiting. More so, it's a good mixture of relationships and winning. I think you get those proper relationships. You can make some waves in recruiting because you got to make the waves in recruiting before you can start winning the big time games. Brooks and Joyner were legit. Yes, they were. We ain't had good safety play like that since then. I'm ready for the turnover on this team. The Marvin Robinson, Helton Rice, Kano Lucas have to go. These guys all know is losing. You're not wrong there, Cliff. Absolutely not wrong. There a lot of these guys do know just losing. Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. I think I'm starting to believe that Jimbo Fisher sacrificed the GOAT for that national championship, sold Florida State's soul, and we haven't been right since. Seems to be what happened. They drew a pentagram in the locker rooms before that season, sacrificed the GOAT, and yeah, FSU's been cursed ever since, man. I said it last week, but I had a flashback of Brooks when Kangdo got that pick six against UNC. Good times, Panama. That was good times just a week ago. And bam, we came crashing back down to earth this Saturday. Yeah, I think Miami's going to pull away in this second half. I don't think Virginia has the offense to really contend. So I expect Miami to do their thing this second half, unfortunately. But again, it's funny how all the Miami fans got real quiet. They'll be back though once they get a healthy lead. They'll come back and start talking again. So yeah, man, we just gotta again go back to that recruiting thing. You just gotta build those relationships. And that's one of the positive things that I think I've taken from this staff up to this point. They're not giving up on the 2021 class, but the 2021 class isn't going to be where this team really makes its mark or the staff makes its mark. It's going to be could they convince 2022 and 2023 guys this is where you want to be. FSU's have the 2022 commit right now that would come in today and play opposite of Travis Hunter's a monster. Good player. And even today he tweeted "Go Noles" with the so I mean anything can change in a year. So I don't want to get guys' hopes up and tell you that guy's going to be a lock-in. Anything can change. But he seems locked in, and we hope we can keep that. That's the type of player, a Travis Hunter, 5-star, like one of the top 3 corners in the nation. That's the type of guy you got to convince that, hey, we don't look good now. But guess what? Next year we get Demore Tate back, who didn't academically qualify. Very similar situation with Travis J and Demore Tate. Last year was Travis J. This year was Demore Tate. Next year you're going to have Demore Tate. Asante's probably going to be in the NFL, but you're going to have Demore Tate. You're going to be bringing in this kid. You convince him, hey, you're going to be that first key link into changing this defense around. I believe that. I believe you can convince him. You have to convince him. What up, Polk? Enjoy your takes. I'm late to the show, so I'm sure it's already been mentioned how 50-degree weather is too cold for a bunch of overrated 4 and 5 stars who thinks they are FS or NFL material. You think all of them are overrated, Philly? Yeah, we talked about it, but I don't think all of them are overrated. You have a couple. I think the coaching doesn't know what the hell it's doing. Bro, Virginia looks so unathletic. They honestly don't even look like they should be on the field with some of these guys. Jimbo was doing that voodoo. He was doing something, man. Jimbo did something for that championship because they haven't been right since. We were supposed to win the championship and take off. And it didn't happen. How you like our backyard football game? Well, what was it, 48-16? Yeah, I liked it about as much as that score says. I liked it. Jimbo knew how to destroy a team. Don't recruit O-line or D-line. Players plus leave the computer. The one thing I'll agree with that, he didn't recruit O-line. He actually recruited some pretty good defensive linemen out his tenure. I mean, you're talking Eddie Goldman's, Timmy Jernigans, Mario Edwards of the world, Marvin Wilson's of the world. I know people ain't big on Marv right now, but I mean, come on. But he definitely left that quarterback position jacked up for sure. I'm just hoping we don't become these teams that used to be good, and after a win on a good team, we claim we're back. Right. Don't get it. We can't become. Look, I hate to say their name, but let's not be Miami. Let's not always talk about we're back, we're back, we're back. No, let's let it build. We have to build. Let's let it build. Let's not be delusional. Um, I think we all felt good after the North Carolina game, but there were some things that I think got overlooked because we won. But defensively, that team is still the same defensive team. Yes, sir. Mac will have a look better than all of our corners outside of Asante. He also looked better than our receivers. Yeah, he plays both ways. I think he has like 700 receiving yards so far on the year. Two-way guy, just like Travis J. FSU brand is taking a hit. We need to at least look good losing to. I agree. You don't want to take no moral victories, but come on. We can't keep getting blown out. Where's the competitive? You couldn't be competitive in this game. Our defense is no resistance. Our coaching on both sides of the ball is trash. I wouldn't say on both sides of the ball that the offenses look better than it's looked at any point in the last 3 to 4 years. Offense is limited by talent. I don't know if you saw that challenge. I don't know if you saw it, James, but we went over the talent earlier on in the live stream, and offense only has 10 4-stars on it. No 5-stars on this offense at all, not one, and 10 4-stars. And four of the 10 4-stars are all in the running back room. Hold on, somebody's whining. Oh, my bad. Somebody woke up. What was I saying? I forgot what I was saying. Okay, yeah, we went over the talent, and again, offensive man, we just don't have a lot of talent, and I feel like they are coaching a very limited offense about as good as they can coach it, in my opinion. Not a lot of talent on that offense. Again, only 10. 10 4-stars, no 5-stars. 40% of the 4-stars on offense is in the running back room. Close that door for me. We'll take them now. How do we get back next year on D line? Or who do we get back next year on our defensive line? Durden, because I don't think with the ways he's played that he's really gonna be a top pick. You could get Durden back. You could probably get Cooper back. Kando probably comes back. But other than that, man, J. Rob's gone. I mean, technically, you could get everybody back, right? There's no eligibility. So Janoris Robinson, even though he's a senior, could come back next year. Same thing with Marvin, right? Even though he's a senior, could come back next year. But I think a lot of those guys are gonna try to go pro. But you might get Durden or Cooper back. I expect Kando back because Kando still needs to put more film out there. Jimbo was all about money. Plus his wife doing what she's doing. Jimbo left Tallahassee. That is true. I mean, Jimbo was going through some stuff, unfortunately. And I'm not gonna say he was all about money. I mean, look, here's the one thing if you're gonna criticize Jimbo Fisher, what you criticize him about is not doing his job up until he left. That's my criticism of Jimbo Fisher, right? Is okay, you got offered all that money to go. It's not that you took the money. I don't have no problem with that. I think anybody with any sense, I don't care where you work or what you do. If the next company comes along and says, I'm gonna pay you, if you're making $100K right now, and the next company comes and tells you I'll pay you $200K, you're probably gonna take that new job. That's anybody. So you can't get mad at Jimbo Fisher for taking $75 million. They overpaid, but that ain't Jimbo problem. A&M overpaid. Jimbo's living good. Rather, and his buyout, by the way, they can't fire Jimbo Fisher because his like buyout is ridiculous. They can't fire him. All that money's guaranteed to him. They can't fire him. I don't blame Jimbo for taking the money. What I do blame him for is not being upfront with the administration. Like, look, these guys offer me $75 million. I know you can't match it. I'm going to take this money, but I want to put Florida State in the best position after I'm gone. He didn't do that. He didn't give up. He quit on the job. That's where I have a real problem. He quit on the job, didn't inform his team of anything. His coaching staff had no idea. That's where I have a problem with Jimbo. Not that he took the money. I hope we have not already become one of those teams that stay bad every year and our good seasons are behind us now. T-Buck seems to recruit a top defensive back each year at Mississippi State. Well, he's not there anymore. But I think Buckley recruited Jerry and Jones, if I'm not mistaken. But see how that's turning out. Plus, he coached Xavier Rhodes and Patrick Robertson at FSU. A no great that can teach our DBs how to attack the football. Be honest, do you really want them back? Which ones? Durden, I think, needs to come back. Marv, I don't see a point of him coming back, regardless of what anybody thinks of Marv and Wilson. He needs to go make his money. J-Rob, I want Kando back. J-Rob, not so much. Robert Cooper, definitely I want him back. No, I just got here, but there's still no excuse. We still have a D1 talent, but every team that we play in the ACC has D1 talent. So, again, it's a little bit of an excuse. Again, you missed the first part of the stream. So the whole point of the I'm going to break it down for you, James. The whole point of me going over the talent level on offense, because the argument right now is that the players suck, not the coaching. I'm talking about the offense and the defense, right? Again, on offense, there are an entire offense, 10 4-stars, 4 of them in the running back room. That's it. Yet the offense is playing better football than the defense. Anybody who came into this year would have told you the defense was going to be a strength. The offense would play catch up. It's been the opposite. The offense is the strength, and the defense ain't catching up no time soon, because we can forget that. Yet, on the offensive line, they literally have 2 4-stars. Everybody else on that offensive line has been a 3-star. Oh, and that Devontae Love-Taylor was a 2-star. Yet, they're probably the best unit on the offense. We can argue running backs. Offensive line has been vastly improved. Why is that? I don't know. Maybe because they're coached very well. Quarterback room has 1 4-star in Chubba Purdy. Everybody else is a 3-star. Yet, we're getting better quarterback play this year than we've gotten the last 3 years. Why is that? Oh, I think maybe that's coaching. Tight ends, 1 4-star, a walk-on, a converted quarterback, and a 3-star. Tight ends, are they great? There's not a lot of talent to work with, but I think the walk-on has played good this year. To me, their blocking has drastically improved on the tight end position. We still don't have a pass catcher. We're going to have to recruit one. Cam McDonald, yeah. There's no talent on that offense, man. Yet that offense has been able to generate points, move the ball, and make big-time plays. There's 1 4-star in that wide receiver room in Brian Robinson. That's it. Oh, I take that back. And Warren Thompson, and we see how that looks. So when you say the team on both sides of the ball is poorly coached, I drastically disagree with you. Offense is making chicken salad out of chicken. I said it before, and that's what I'm going to keep saying. They are They are doing the best offensively that they can do with what they have. And you see it. I'm not just, selling dreams here. You see it because we see a more competent offense than we've seen in the last 3 years. Now, let's convert that to the defense. James Chandler, how many 4 and 5 stars do you think is on the defense? Just take a wild guess. And I'll see if I wait for you to respond. I don't think so, Cliff. I don't think so. I don't. They paid him 75 guarantee, and I think the buyouts. So ridiculous that. I mean, you can say that. I think they're stuck with them. I know they got cash. I got it. I know they got cash. I just don't think they're gonna fire him. Jimbo stopped recruiting in 2017. They reported recruits. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He quit. If you want to get on Jimbo, it's because he quit, not because he took the money. Because anybody's taking that money. Anybody. But the fact that you quit, yeah, I can't respect that. What about Warner? JUCO and grad transfers is how this team can be competing next year. Transfer portal is going to be huge this year, unlike any year. You already see a ton of transfers so far, and it's just going to continue. Transfers are just going to continue. Gainer was a no-show. Right now, about 8-9 wins sounds real good. Wins a year. Maybe we need to start these recruits. Maybe we need to start these recruits. What do you mean? About 15 4 and 5 stars. False. FSU has a total of, what was it, guys? 21, 22 4 and 5 stars on defense. If you don't believe me, I'll name them. You can go look up their ratings yourself. Durden was Marvin Wilson was a 5-star. Dennis Briggs was a 4-star. Robert Cooper was a 4-star. Jaleel McCray was a 4-star. Deloach was a 4-star. Dix 4-star. Gainer 4-star. Warner 4-star. Gant 4-star. Woody 4-star. Dent 4/5-star. Samuels 4-star. Green McKnight was a 4-star. Travis J 4-star. Carlos Becker was a 4-star. Jerian Jones 4-star. Woodbay 5-star. Nazeldine was a 4-star. Janarius Robinson 4-star. Kando 5-star. Fuller 4-star. Curtis Fan 4-star. And I didn't even talk about a guy in Demore Tate who was a high 4-star. There you go. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 21. The defense has 21 blue chip prospects on it. And y'all want to tell again, I'm going backwards, guys, and I'm sorry, but James Chandler's new to the stream. 21 blue chips, and you're telling me they're all trash? And it's not coaching? Stop. Me and Cliff already had this argument. So, James, you want to come in here and get some of this? You can. 22. But everybody's trash. Or maybe everybody just ain't being coached. What is your opinion on Uncle Lou? The way he normally talks about it. Uncle Lou is cool with me. Uncle Lou is a guy who trolls every single team in college football. When you watch a Uncle Lou or a channel like that, right? Like me, I just strictly talk Florida State. I don't really troll or do. That's not really my deal. When you watch Uncle Lou, you got to understand that he has a way bigger audience than I do. He appeals to all of college football fans. So when he does all entertainment value, he may or may not really feel the way he feels. I honestly could care less. Uncle Lou does what he does to gain views and just entertain people. He trolls Tennessee, Florida State, Miami, all of them. So yeah, Uncle Lou's gonna do that. I don't have a problem with it. That's what he's building his channel on. That's what he's built it. That's what he is. You know what I mean? So there's no big deal there for me. I mean, that's gonna happen. Our offense is JT fake the run and then run around and make something happen and hope for the best. That's not coaching. Well, James, I don't think you're watching the same offense or you don't know what you're watching if that's what you get out of our offense. Jackson West is legit. He will be our pass catching tight end if we can keep him. This live is too lit. Almost 3 hours. It is almost 3 hours, and we still 50 strong. Hey, if you still here, man, hit the like button. Thanks everybody who's staying in here. Didn't say it was the players. I said it's bad coaching. I know, and I just proved to you that it's offensively. I agree with you. Defensively, we know it's coaching. But offensively, I don't. I just don't agree. I just don't agree that offensively it's the coaching. I think they're doing the best with what they have offensively. Defensively, absolutely. You're absolutely right. If you're gonna lose with the young, well, they've gone to the youth movement, James. You know, it's no. I know people like to keep hounding that youth movement, but they're playing a ton of young guys, so they're they're losing with the young guys. Believe me, they are playing a ton of young guys. That is for sure. I mean, even today, you saw a guy like Sidney Williams, true freshman at safety. They're playing young guys, man. They're playing young guys across the board. But again, be careful. Be careful, man. When you guys start asking for those young players, that's cool. I'm not against it. Matter of fact, I agree with you. But understand that with the young movement is going to come tons of mistakes, tons of missed tackles, tons of players being out of position, tons of wrong reads. Yeah, the youth movement is cool. Youth movement always sound good. Just remember what comes with it. Just remember what comes with it is all I'm saying. I just feel like we're going to get 5 star talents on defense as Florida State. We just need leaders, man. On defense, the Lamarcus. Yeah, so we agree there, Cliff. We don't have a leader like that on defense. We don't have it. Not only is one thing to be vocal, and it's another thing to be vocal, and then your play on the field backs up your vocal. You know what I'm saying? Um, Marv, I think, is vocal, but his play on the field ain't really backing up how vocal he's been. He's not doing that, Jay. But we already know that. We tried different coaches and it's the same results. Only thing that hasn't changed is the players. We got to turn over this roster. Um, Again, man, we've tried different coaches. Um, you had Harlan Barnett who was handcuffed. Did we not? Did we or did we not see a better defense after Willie Taggart got fired and Harlan Barnett went back to what he wanted? And mainly, we saw that in that Arizona State game because it was tough for Harlan Barnett to make the initial transition. Right, you just can't immediately go back to what you know. These guys, they let these kids play what they've been playing. When Harlan Barnett came in, or Harlan Barnett, if Tiger gets fired, Harlan Barnett gets a chance to kind of go revert back to what he wanted. I thought the defense looked better down the stretch. You know, so again, just you can't convince me. And again, we're just gonna a lot of us are just gonna have to disagree or agree to disagree on this. When you start talking about the players and it's the players and it's not the coaches, they had different coaches and they still suck. But it's still the players. Okay, but again, you can't convince me that 22 blue chippers are all bad. That they all just can't learn. That they all just can't develop. That they all just aren't smart players. 22 is enough to field two separate defenses. Or did I say 21? Regardless, that's still two separate defenses of blue chip players. I don't think Fuller was Norvell's first choice. Yeah, I don't think so either. No, you made adjustments and shut us completely down. Explain how one is coaching and the other is not. Because offensively, again, you are limited offensively into what you have, James. As much as I like Jordan Travis, he is limited into what he can do. How can you coach around Jordan Travis's limits? His limits are, we know he's great with his feet. We know he can improvise on the move. We don't think he has the strongest arm. Definitely doesn't have the strongest velocity on his throws. Can't make some of those big time throws and passes that you need to beat certain defenses. So once you start adjusting to his legs, putting a spy on him, it's very hard to adjust to that. What are you going to do? You're going to throw James Blackman back in there? So how do you don't have any other options. So what do you do as a coach to alleviate Jordan Travis's limits? Because you're already doing it. They're already basically running the triple option at Florida State right now. We're running a spread triple option in case nobody's noticed, where they pull, where Jordan Travis gets to either keep it or give it, and they're giving him a bubble screen on the outside on most of these option plays. That's what they're running. What else are they going to do? He's limited in what he can do. It's just the facts. Now, until you get a better player that can do more things in the offense, you got to scheme with what you got. We don't have Tamarion Terry. Show me a wide receiver that you can game plan for to get the ball in his hand that's going to make play on offense. Show me one. There ain't one. Helton ain't 100%, obviously, with his knee brace. Warren Thompson has been nothing but a bust so far. And then there's no other real four-star talent in that receiving group. Your best tight end so far this year has been a walk-on. Your offense is playing with a lot of 3-stars, offensive line, and yet they're looking damn good. So the coaching's bad on the offensive line, or is the offensive line the only place that has good coaching? Running backs look damn good. Bunch of 4-stars there, and they're playing with more consistency. These running backs look better than Cam Akers ever looked. And kudos to Cam Akers because he pretty much carried the offense at his tenure here at Florida State. But he got by, on my opinion, on just pure talent. I don't think Cam Akers was ever really coached very well. At every level, the offense is coached better, period. They are limited into what they have at quarterback and at receiver, and even at offensive line, even though it looks pretty solid. You just explained to me how you're supposed to coach around Jordan Travis's limits. Because they tried dropping back with James Blackman at the beginning of the year, and we saw how that looked. The offense looks better than it's ever looked. Why can't Asante lead? Some guys aren't leaders. I mean, I'm not saying Asante is or he isn't a leader. But you know, I believe leaders are born, not made. This is my personal opinion. You can't force somebody and say, you know, the military tries to do this. They try to force people to become leaders. And you can always tell. The truth is, a leader is born. People naturally gravitate to people. You can't force somebody, put them in front of a group of people and say, be in charge of these people and lead them. If they ain't got it, the people that you're trying to lead are going to see that and be like, I'm not saying Asante has it or not. I don't know. But everybody ain't meant to be, you know, that rah-rah guy. Asante might not be that. Why can't Gant Woodbay position? At least Gant will hit somebody violently. I'd start Chuba and use Jordan Travis on special occasions. Jordan Travis can't make no tight window throws. I believe I'm starting to see his limits there, Sniper. You got to go with Travis or Purdy for the rest of this year. Ain't that's why you pay a coach to figure it out? Absolutely, you pay him to figure it out. Let me tell you something, James. You could be an engineer, but if I give you a pack of crayons and some Legos and tell you to build me an airplane, can you do it? And I say, hey, you're the engineer, man. Figure it out. How much sense does that make? A pack of crayons and some Lego blocks, and I say, build me a 757 Boeing jet. Come on, man. You can't do it. You gotta if you can't acknowledge that this offense has improved at pretty much every level, that the quarterback play is more consistent, that the running backs play is more consistent, that the offensive line is more consistent, that the tight ends look better than they've looked in the past 3 to 4 years, then you just want to hate blindly on the coaching. Across the board offensively, with the exception of receivers, I think that falls on Dugans. Offenses look better. I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm not saying it's great, but it's effective. It moves the ball. We normally stay ahead of the chains in most situations. Right now, the man's building a spaceship with Legos and crayons. Or at least he's trying to. I don't care how great you are at your job. If you're not given the tools, you can't get it done. Defense has to catch up. Offense is doing well. Our defense sucks like hell by letting so many big plays. Some coaches can take a little great coach up to play a good level. Some can't take a lot to flush it. He's more a leader by example, not vocally. Just because a player to be vocal if they're not right. Yes, the O-line is the only ones being coached correctly. He is the least talented, and there's not a lot of talent in that wide receiver room either. There's only 2 4-stars in that wide receiver room. One guy we haven't even seen this year in Brian Robinson, and Warren Thompson, you see what he is. Everybody else is a 3-star in that wide receiver room. So there's not a lot of talent there either. So we can blame the coach in there. You say he has the least amount of talent. That offensive line has more talent than that tight end room. You got a converted quarterback and a walk-on in tight end. Yet Preston Daniels has been playing fairly good this year. Running back is the most talented group. Quarterback, where's the talent there? Is James Blackman talented? What about Rodemaker? 3-star. Black, 3-star. Jordan Travis, 3-star. Purdy has talent. We ain't seen him. You can't. Across the board, there is no talent. And quite frankly, out of all the position groups on the offense, other than running back, there's 2 4-stars on that offensive line. And a grad transfer who's played a lot of college snaps, and Devontae Love-Taylor. Atkins is doing a damn good job, but I think you're selling these other coaches extremely short. JT is very limited in the pass game. His footwork needs a lot of work, and he's still less than a year in the system. Plus, his wide receivers drop balls even when he gets it to him. Definitely needs help. And yeah, we're forgetting that Jordan Travis has literally played, 3 games now as a starting quarterback in college? They build models every day. So that's okay, thank you. Point proven. They build models. They don't build the actual thing. Right now, what you're seeing is a model. Norvell's building a model, but this ain't the actual offense. That's to come. You're seeing the model right now. So when an engineer builds a model, he builds a model. The actual damn plane ain't here yet. He can't build the actual plane with Legos and crayons. Neither can Mike Norvell build the actual offense with what he has right now. Yet, this damn model looks pretty damn good. And I'm excited to see what that actual offense looks like when we get some guys. Same thing with that model, that airplane, huh? It could either look pretty damn good model or it can look like somebody scribbled something on a piece of paper and said, oh, here's your airplane. Which one is it? Number 9, a dog. LT, my boy, 727 on the map. Toafili's a beast, man. Give Jordan a whole offseason in spring, he's going to be fine. You can see the talent. If he's healthy, yeah, more time in his offense. I mean, again, he's at the end of the day, he's still a 3-star. At the end of the day, I still think his arm is limited. But I like his potential. There's a bunch of potential on offense. Not a lot of highly recruited guys. You think all these drops are really on Dugans? No, I'm not saying all the drops are on Dugans. Of course not. The receivers got to go out there and catch plays. But they also don't run the right routes. Don't be in sync with the quarterback. Don't use their hands to catch the ball. I mean, at what point is some of this stuff not being taught? No, everything's not on Ron Dugans, but this is how you know it's coaching, right? If it was just Warren Thompson, if Warren Thompson was just not using his hands to catch the ball, if he was the only one running the wrong routes, not catching balls, okay. when Warren Thompson, Keyshawn Helton, Ontario Wilson, Portier, when it's a collective group of wide receivers not doing those things, that's on coaching, man. Stop. He had that last year. He's still not accurate. Who are we talking about? Who had what last year and is still not accurate? We talking. I'm not. Enlighten me, sniper. What should happen in 2021 season? Florida State. What should happen? You seeing what's happening? All that needs to happen now is to continue to build it and hope you win a few games along the way. But there's no more delusions of grandeur from this fan base. The blunt truth is here, man. I'm always here to tell it. The blunt truth is here. I said it earlier in the year. This was a 3 to 4 year rebuild. It is what it is. The blunt truth is here. When I say rebuild, I don't just mean players. I mean finding the right staff as well. Okay? That Fuller stuff don't work in the ACC. Time to move on. Time to find a better wide receiver coach. Maybe DB coach. Some of these coaches, I will give the benefit of the doubt and give them time. I'm not saying clean the house. Some of these coaches, I've seen enough from them. Fuller being one of them and Dugan's being another one. Because Dugan's been here a few years and show me where this wide receiver group. Jordan Young has only ever been coached by Ron Dugans. Correct me if I'm wrong. Same thing with Warren Thompson. Same thing with Ontario Wilson. Dugans has been here, 2-3 years? A lot of these guys have only been coached by Dugans. No, you're making excuses for Norvell. They lucked with Jordan Travis. Just 24 hours ago, he was an offensive guru. Now he has no talent. One, I never said he was an offensive guru. And two, he doesn't have any talent. Like, where's the talent? Go ahead. Let's do this, James. I'm ready. I'm ready for you. We're finna do it. Show me the talent. Name me five players on offense that you're like, you know what, that guy has a chance to play in the NFL. Not the running back room, because I've already said that the running back room is by far the most talented room on the offense. So not the running backs. 5 guys. I'll give you one. I'll give you Terry. And Terry's not even playing right now. So he's limited by that. But I'll give you one. So give me 4 guys. Give me 4 talented players on offense that you like, okay, that guy can play on Sundays. Even if he can't play on Sundays, that's a good college wide receiver. That's a good college quarterback. Give me 5 talented players. I'll wait. I'll go through the comments while you give me 5. This isn't Norvell offense. He's just doing it because it could contribute to wins and don't have many more. Exactly. Obviously, this is Norvell's offense because Norvell came into this year calling an entirely different offense. Go back and watch Memphis. It's an entirely different offense than what he wants to run and what he's usually running. He made the decision. Now, granted, I will give James Chandler this. I do think he lucked in Jordan Travis as well. I don't know what he saw in those other quarterbacks that he didn't see in that kid. Neither here nor there. You got to give a coach credit for adjusting his game plan around the strengths of that quarterback. Now we're criticizing and say, all they do is run around and do da-da-da. No. They've adjusted the game plan to what Jordan Travis does good. Great says, I feel you. I'm sorry. All the drops are on how they're coached. I won't say all the drops, right? Again, players got to catch the ball, damn it. Players got to catch the ball. But again, when it's an entire receiving group that looks like that, I got to point to coaching. What's up, Chad? He has more talent on this team than he had on the Memphis team. And they were better coached on the Memphis team? Well, he also was there longer on the Memphis team. So, yeah. He was there longer, had players fit his system. You can sit here all day and say he had better players now than he had on Memphis. He had players that bought in Memphis, and he had players that fit what he wanted to do. He's not running what he wants right now, and yet he's still getting results. But I'll finish reading your comment. So let's not keep talking about the talent level when it comes to this trash on the field. I will definitely talk about talent level on offense. Again, I'm still waiting on you to give me 5 players. I'm still waiting on you to give me. I gave you one. I'm still waiting on to give me 4 players. Lawrence is the only back I like. I like Webb too. I don't know why you don't like LaDamian Webb. Webb's been a beast. Webb's been a beast. Again, if you're not talking about running backs, because I'll give you Webb. I'll give you Toafili on offense. I'll give you Tamarion Terry. Hell, and that might be it. But again, I'm still waiting on you to give me 5. I just want 5 guys. I just want 5 guys. There aren't any. Okay. No blood says there's none. There's a few. Offense is improving. Norvell and Dillingham need to work on second half scoring, putting up 0 in second half points the last 2 games. Agree with that, Thompson. Again, there are things that in the offensive red zone that they do that I'm not a fan of. I'm not saying they're perfect, but if you can't look at the improvement in this offense and tell me that coaching hasn't been a plus on this offensive side of the ball, again, you just want to be critical. You know, you're probably somebody that thought Willie Taggart was doing great things. We'll see. Posted this on Twitter. Defensive yards given up, 438 to Georgia Tech. Look at that. Bro, that's over 2. That's damn near 3,000 yards. Come on. James, the same amount of NFL talent Louisville has. Louisville has 2 for sure NFL players on that offense, and Tutu Atwell and the running back. Get the hell out of here. We don't even have that. We have 1 guy in Tamarion Terry. If you want to talk about NFL talent, for sure, you have 1 guy. Damian Webb, as much as I like him as a college back, I can't sit here and tell you that he's going to be a draftable prospect. And that'd be the only guy. Everybody else is up in the grabs. We like Toafili. We don't know. That's a true freshman. Oh, I forgot all about Louisville's tight end too. Don't sleep on that dude. That dude's going to be drafted in the NFL as well. So no, we don't have the draftable prospects, the same amount of draftable prospects on offense that Louisville has. Try again. No, with Memphis, he walked into a great situation that was already winning, and yet he improved on it though. Everybody says that. Oh, Fuentes built that thing over there at Memphis, and Fuentes gets a lot of credit because he did. The offensive numbers improved under Mike Norvell. Again, men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. The offense got better. The team as a whole got better under Mike Norvell. I'm not sitting here telling you Mike Norvell's the next great football coach, but again, you're selling them short. Oh, they tell me my mic went off. You hear me now? Okay, we good. We good. I'm sorry, but if you're a wide receiver, touch the ball, your fingertips, you should catch it. Absolutely. That's how they get recruited to FSU. That's the main responsibility. All Lawrence does is make big plays every time I see him. Wait till next year. But so does Webb. Go watch Webb. All Webb does is break 5 tackles, and Webb is extremely tough to take down. I'm not taking anything away from Toafili because I think Toafili's a dog. And he's going to be the future of this FSU running back room. But you got to give Webb some credit. I'm with you, Polk. Some coaches got to go. Maurice is Robert Scott's good to be a freshman. But those guys' bodies they're not even close to being the players that they have the potential to be. I'm talking right now. Where's the big time talent on that offense? Red zone, second half shows the O-line's limitations, but they also shows the lack of help from wide receivers when the team's focus on stopping the run. So you have used the running backs, gotcha. So they have 1 wide receiver and we have 1 wide receiver. So you're saying our tight end is trash. Which one? We have a walk-on tight end, a converted quarterback, and a 4-star in Cam McDonald who hasn't proven one thing. Louisville's tight end has caught more touchdowns and everything. I actually believe the tight end. I believe the tight end group has been coached better for what they have. But that tight end room as an entire whole, just look at the talent level there. A quarterback and a walk-on. Oh, and one 4-star who makes. He is solid. I won't call Cam McDonald anything to write home about. But Louisville's tight end is better than Cam McDonald's. Again, check the numbers. Yet they've been getting production out of that position, though. They've been getting production out of that position. Ain't that something? The talent level's not there, but they're getting production out of it. So either what? The talent level's way underrated and it's actually better than what everybody had them listed as, or are they being coached well? Again, they have an NFL running back, an NFL receiver, and an NFL tight end. And their quarterback situation is better than ours, unfortunately. Again, just tell me the talent. If you want to make this argument about the defense being poorly coached, I'm with you 100%. But we're not going to do this on the offensive side of the ball. Because I'm watching a team that's played better the team just played better offense. I don't know. Webb is so low to the ground. Yeah, he's very compact. I don't know. He hasn't fumbled yet. Let's not jinx it. What do you think of Charlie? We talked about that earlier, man. I would love Charlie Strong, man. They should reach out to him. They should definitely reach out to him. Louisville has a better coaching. They know how to use their tight end. We don't. Oh, okay. Okay. You still ain't answered no question about the talent level. You still want to talk about coaching, and yet we can't even talk about who's talented on this team. Still need a home run running back. I thought Toafili was it, but we saw him get walked down late in the fourth quarter. Toafili has. I don't think we have a guy that's gonna. We don't have a Dalvin Cook. It doesn't necessarily make you a great running back. Toafili doesn't have great top end speed. I'm not sure Webb has great top spin either. We just got guys that can make you miss in tight spaces. I think Toafili's got great feet and great vision. So I don't know. Maybe we can find that. Transfer portal mode. We should recruit. I think they are. That's the plan. I think that is the plan, is to really recruit the portal very hard. Because everybody's basically saying how this is going to be a transfer portal year like no other. There's going to be so many portal guys with the free transfer rules now, and you can transfer with no limitations. They expect the portal to be bigger than it's ever been. So I expect them to really be in the portal pretty heavy. I like Robert. Lucas is not the same player he was last year. I think Lucas is the same player. I think Lucas is just Lucas got to get mentally in the game. Robert Scott is good. Again, another good young player whose body's underdeveloped and isn't even where he is supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, in an ideal situation, your Robert Scotts of the world and your Maurice Smiths don't even play as freshmen. Maurice Smith is playing at like 280 right now at center. Robert Scott is probably playing at, you're playing at 3 something, but it's not even solid 3 something. Still got baby fat on them. You can look at these guys and see that their bodies are undeveloped on this offensive line because they haven't been in college weight room long enough. Yet they're performing. They're performing because they're being coached the right way. The tight end room is performing because it's being coached the right way. You can say we don't know how to use it, but Preston Daniels has been more effective than Cam McDonald. Now, I'm not knocking Cam McDonald because he's made some plays and he's made some touchdowns, but they're getting the most they can get out of these tight ends. They're getting the most they can get out of these offensive linemen. The running back room is talented. The receivers are not. You're talking about coaching. Is it the coach's fault that Keyshawn Helton had multiple drops today? Is it the coach's fault that Warren Thompson hasn't been able to catch a ball his entire tenure? Is it the coaching fault? Well, it might be the coaching fault that Jordan Young can't run routes. Some of these players got to step up. The reason I blame Dugans is because the wide receiver group as a whole has not looked good. Dog, they playing who are they not playing? They're playing so many freshmen. Who do you want to see? Only thing I'll give you is Jordan Travis. I got it. And I know why they weren't using Jordan Travis. Now, they didn't have confidence in his throwing ability. Jordan Travis doesn't fit what this team wants to be offensively. So he was the last option. I got it. Again, if there's one thing I agree with you on, is that they lucked up into Jordan Travis. But when you tell me they're not using guys, who are they not using? They're literally giving every player on this offense a chance to make plays. They play Wyatt Rector today. They play like all the freshman wide receivers today. Who are they not playing? Who do you want to see? Who's talented that they're just not using and don't know how to use? You named one guy in Jordan Travis. One guy. On an 11-man team, you named one guy. Now, granted, that quarterback makes a big difference, and they're playing him now. But who are they misusing and not using right on offense? Defense, again, I completely agree on defense. But who on offense is being misused or not being used at all that should be used? Looks like Jennings is making the right move the way Michigan is playing tonight and how we perform tonight. Jennings has the right to do what he wants. It is what it is. I don't want to speak too much on Jennings. One of the issues I have with Jennings is, you could have came in and you could have been a difference maker if you're Brandon Jennings, but hey, man, I have been on here for 3 hours and I don't even feel like it. So hit that like button if you're still in here. We have been going on and on and on. Most of this has been pretty good debates with y'all in the chat. Again, as you can see, man, the FSU fan base is extremely split right now. You got people blaming coaches and people blaming players. I'm all for blaming the coaches, believe me, because I'm blaming all that. I'm blaming those defensive coaches. But offensively, I think if you just want to blame the entire coaching staff and say that they're badly coached on offense and defense, I can't rock with that. We've seen defensive improvement, man. I can't rock with that narrative. That's just me, though, man. Much love, Polk. From one fortitude to another, headed to lay down, bro. Yeah. Keep your head up. No nation, the best is yet to come. Hit that like button. I'm out for. All right, Samuel, appreciate you. Florida Kane decides to show up now that Miami's in the fourth quarter and finally pulled away a little bit. They were sweating there for a little bit, but at the end of the day, they got to win. You can never knock a win. And yeah, I know we're still 54 strong, but I'm about to head out too. I think we've done a great show tonight, man. Got a lot off our chest as a fan base. We argued back and forth tonight, and that's what's up. That's what I'm here for. Hey, bye week, much needed bye week. And hopefully this team, the staff needs to figure something out, especially defensively. Offensively, man, I just honestly believe we're limited. I believe we're limited in what we can do. I don't think there's a lot of talent on that offense to do a lot of things with. Maybe some of the talent that we have needs more development. And that's always a case too. Sometimes you have talent, but that talent isn't physically ready yet. And maybe that's the case with some of these skill position players. I'm not, I don't expect much from the defense going forward, guys. I'm going to be honest with you. Defensively, man, we are an embarrassment. Somebody put the stats up here, and I'll put the stats up here again. pretty much in our losses, man, we're giving up 3,000 yards. No cap, no hyperbole. 3,000 yards. I'm gonna find it. Let me see if I can find it. Right here. Look at these. Look at these other numbers in our losses. Now, the UNC game was a win, and we still look at that. 438 to Georgia Tech, 517 to Miami, 554 to Notre Dame, 558 to UNC, and 569 to Louisville. Y'all do the math. Somebody do the math and tell me how many yards that is. And tell me that's not coaching. That's just all the players. But again, man, I appreciate you guys for tuning in and kicking it with me tonight. I think I'm starting to lose my voice a little bit, but hey, shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody who shot me the super chats today / donations. Matter of fact, we'll give you guys one more shout out for those because I appreciate that. Jay Oliver, Jonathan, and Irv Gotti. Great 19 is Jonathan and Jay Oliver. Appreciate you guys. The math says that's a lot of yards. Yeah, the math says that's a lot of damn yards. Even shout out to everybody. Even Cliff. Cliff came in here, wanted to argue with me first. We had a good back and forth. That was good stuff, Cliff. Shout out to you. Shout out to James. He always give me a hard time. Even though he's a Florida State fan, he like to argue with me too. So shout out to James. The entire wide receiver room and tight end room. The beginning of the year, 87-6, and we getting the ball consistently. They balled out. The rest of the game, they went away from them. Who balled out? 6. How many passes did 6 drop? 6 is playing with a damn knee, a brace on his knee anyway. He ain't even 100%. And 87 ain't balled out. He's caught a couple passes here and there. But touche, James. We will continue this debate later on. And Sniper shot out Polk. It's like everything you said, it happens like how Leonard Warner didn't get to play a lot last week. Who's the imposter? Polk. It's like everything you say, it happens. Like how Leonard Warner didn't get to play a lot last week. Who's the imposter in the chat? Man, look. I'm not saying I'm the perfect. I don't say I got all the answers. I let you guys decide if I'm right or wrong on some of this stuff, but I look like I'd be kind of right on a lot of these takes. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying I'm right on everything, and I come in here and usually admit when I'm wrong. But hey, I'm done for the night. You guys have a great night. I guess tomorrow I'll be on T2Y channel and hear that bullshit from them dudes. So tune into that, and Miami fans gonna give me hell tomorrow. Again, shout out D Thompson. Shout out to everybody, man. As always, stay classy, Seminoles. And we are OUTCHEA. Shout out to James. Yeah, you know how we do, homie. I will holler at y'all boys later.